Whopper!
Oh, I haven't done my dishes yet.
Sound
After
check.
resting at the Kolyan household and seeing Kolyan Indirovich into the grave, the group had a brief encounter with STRAHD before leaving the village of Barovia along the westward path, eventually arriving at the Tur encampment. Once there, they met a multitude of Visteni. They managed to make friends with one who was with his 2 children. His name was Garen.
Rivia.
Garrow, breathe!
They also had a bit of a discussion with another Visteni named Ormin. Ormin offered the party a drink before he said that he had a way for the party to traverse the fog, but he would not hand over this knowledge without the party giving him a very large compensation.
How large was said compensation?
He did not name a price, but when the party offered something like, I think it was 5 silver?
Copper. 2 copper.
Or possibly 2 copper, he laughed heartily and took it as a joke. The party was herded along by Garen, the father of 3, and when he was herding them over to the large tent at the back of the encampment, the one that had horses the other side of it drinking from the river.
Yeah.
And as they approached, the party got an eerie feeling. This place was, they could see dimly inside a few candles lit. And just as they approached it, the first one to step inside was Yennerin, since he was so eager to talk to this lady that he was recommended to talk to. Yennerin.
Hello.
As you step inside, you find yourself in a very sturdy tent. Your eyes slowly adjust, and you see that there are flickering candles all around with little chutes in the roof of the tent, or little hatches with mesh over them, just so that the smoke can get out. At the back of the tent, you can see a hooded figure sitting in a rather ornate chair. You can see her hands. You presume it's a her. She's wearing rather a lot of jewellery, necklaces and such. But you can see her hands are very wrinkled, and she's rather small of frame.
Oh, woman!
In front of her is a wooden table. And the moment you step into the tent, she says 2 words, which cut through the silence almost painfully. Yennerin. Sit. And gestures to the seat on the other side of the table.
Oh yes, thank you. That's very nice. That's very nice. He's just.
And of course, bring your friends in with you.
Oh gosh, come in. She's very nice. Come in. It's very nice.
Wait, did we hear that she said Yennerin?
I just called for you, so.
Only Yennerin would have heard his name called, but you would have heard him call you into the room.
Okay.
Yen walked straight in.
Yen walks in and
George
places a hand. Yeah, George is here. Places a hand on the arm of Yennerin's chair and rests her forearm along the table.
Does she now?
Corin slowly walks in and stands with his back to a corner, arms crossed, observing the scene. Ekor leaves his wolf, Mott, just outside and finds a perch for himself up against one of the chests along the side of the tent.
Oh my god, wait, is this... I just imagine him doing the squat.
He is not slab squatting.
Squatting on the chest.
Kalista, you enter and just find a regular space like everybody else, I presume?
I kind of like, I enter, just kind of like stay out back a little bit. I want to kind of. By the way, is there some kind of thing that could small table or the feet or a bit of boards on the floor or something?
Nope. The furthest from just inside the tent you could get is standing in the doorway. It's just about big enough for everybody, but if there was a fight to break out in here, it would not go well. It's very, very, very small.
How's about the doorway then?
Okay, so you're a silhouette, slightly blocking the sunlight as it beams in through the open flaps.
What about Hogan?
Hogan's taking up the majority of the space in the room, standing square-shouldered in the middle. It's everybody else sitting around him, and Yennerin sitting on a chair just in front of him.
So in front of Hogan is Yennerin in a chair. I'm standing next to Yennerin in a chair.
Yep.
Next to Yennerin on his chair. Yen looks at Yennerin and goes, "Who the fuck is this?"
Ben, did you catch that?
No.
Yen leans into Yennerin's ear and goes, "Who the fuck is this?"
That's very impolite language. You should show some niceties. You shouldn't speak like that. It's not good. It's not nice.
Yen goes, "Oh, sorry," and she says loudly, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh, little Cartiff. Ever abrupt. I am Madame Eva.
Who the fuck are you then? I don't know, no Madam Eva.
Why is his character mouthing off so much? He normally shuts the fuck up.
She's mouthing off because she don't know who the fuck she is.
Hogan yells at Yen. Yen, watch your mouth and be polite to new people you've just met. You can't expect to know everyone here.
You notice that Madame Eva raises her hand to you, Hogan. And as she slightly pulls back the shawl over her head, you see her face, which is wrinkled and somewhat decrepit.
Show us a pic.
She has rather baggy under eyes and wrinkles creasing down her cheeks, old smile lines, and a widespread mouth that has slowly, over the years, deteriorated into a constant frown.
Why did you want to see us?
I wanted to see you because I knew that STRAHD brought you into his realm.
Well,
I
not
wanted
too
to give you all the assistance that I could.
Oh, I got
Which
mute
is
for a
why.
second. Ring me. Sorry.
Okie doke. Which is why I have brought these. She pulls out a pack of cards and places them face down on the table.
How are some cards gonna help us
Is
against
is that the deck of many things? Or is that just
It
cover
is not.
cards?
Even if it were the deck of many things, you would not recognize it. Yen has never seen them. However, you would recognize a deck of tarot cards. You've seen them a lot, just here and there in all different sorts of gypsy bands.
Did you say gypsy bands?
Bands. The old lady pulled out a deck of cards and placed them face down on the table. They're easily identifiable as tarot cards. Have you the time for a reading? Or are you in a hurry?
Wait, what's the girl's name? I
Whose
forgot.
name?
Sorry, what's the girl's name?
Yeah,
Madame Eva.
No, the one we are
That's coaching.
That is
the daughter of
Irina Kolyana.
Irina. Is Irina with us?
She's waiting just outside talking with her brother.
Oh, so she didn't. Okay.
Can you do my tarot reading last? I just got to go sign someone in because
well,
people want favours at uni.
It's a group tarot reading, if anything.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't want to miss this, but someone's asking me to come along now.
Well, can't help you. Sorry.
Okay. Well, can you just fill me in when I come back, please?
Sure.
Could I have my owl look outside, like sit on the top of the tent or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Your owl flutters up onto the top of the tent and keeps a watchful eye on the nearby area.
Can I ask her? Does this process takes time or?
It should take no time at all.
Well, what could go wrong with cards?
A lot of stuff. It's all a load of bullshit anyway.
What indeed?
Wait, a lot can go wrong, but it's all a lot of bullshit.
No, it was gonna go wrong. And then Jens just shouted out, "It's a load of bullshit."
Oh.
Anyway.
It sounded like his first said shit on can go wrong.
No. Yen was very audible when she said this. This is a load of bullshit.
Fine then. I
They
shall
don't
begin.
work.
Do all of you know how to shuffle cards, more or less?
Kind of.
Yes.
Callista? Even you? Back there? Michael?
Oh. Yeah, sorry.
Can you shuffle cards? Can Callista shuffle cards?
Are you listening?
You wouldn't need any sort of proficiency.
So I got a bit distracted. One by me again. Sorry.
What?
One by me again. I got a bit distracted. Sorry.
Right. Can
You're not even
Callista-
understandable.
You have a
Right.
mouthful of food.
Right. Can Callista
Are you eating?
shuffle cards,
No,
Michael? Yes or no?
Michael?
No.
So she's never handled cards ever.
Oh, yes, you would have handled cards, but
Yeah.
on rare occasions.
So she'd be able to shuffle them even if it's a bit clumsy. Yeah?
Yeah, very easily actually.
Okay. Please try and keep up.
Okay.
Well then, please, if you would start for us, Yenarin. She hands Yenarin the deck of cards. Okay. He shuffles a little bit and goes, Is this enough? I don't know. How much should I do? Yes, that should be fine. Pass them along now. And he passes the deck to Yen.
Yen literally just starts shuffling them like a fucking like a pro poker player.
Oh, I thought
Are
you
you
meant you were gonna.
are you particularly trying to show off?
Yeah.
Then can you roll me sleight of hand, please?
21.
Yeah, you are flipping these so fast that you manage to split the deck in two, roll it round all of your fingers, and connect it with the other side while shuffling the other half of the deck. Lots of feats such as this, in which you spread the cards out in the air and catch them all in your hands again.
Yep.
And then twist and pass them along to Hogan.
Hogan attempts to not to overdo something very special. He just does a standard shuffle.
Okay. He takes his time shuffling, and in the meantime, Miss Eva asks, "So, have you met him yet?"
What big bastard?
We have
Big
met STRAHD.
Yes.
Yen,
Yes.
If you're filthy mouthed one more time, I will slap you across the face.
Yes, he came. He was there in front of us.
And how did that go?
I don't know. I wasn't here for this session.
Hogan, you finish and you twist to the side, passing the cards to mid. They haven't done the reading yet. Each person has passed the card deck around, and they're all taking it in turns to shuffle the deck. You went
Okay.
first and passed it along to Yen.
And
Did he drop it?
what?
Sorry, Ben?
Did he drop it?
No, he did not. People are only likely to drop it if they push themselves to do it especially fast. Mid.
Yeah, and as I shuffle the cards, I respond by saying it was terrifying having. We could feel that he could kill us anytime. And yeah, I just pass around, I guess, after shuffle.
He is like that. His presence ever pressing. Mid, you turn and pass the cards to the person behind you, who is Corin.
I do a simple crop. 3 crops. 1, 2. Put the top in the middle. Pass it along.
You turn, and in the doorway is Kalista. Kalista, you see him holding out the cards to you. Michael.
Should I mute it? So wait. Okay, I set the cards.
Okay.
Looking at my skill list.
Can I steal them?
I like to kind of. I actually like to, if it's okay, roll insight just to see if why like what their intentions are, if any. Because I feel
Madam
like
Evers.
I feel like Madam Eve would be up to something here.
Well,
Okay.
Tarot cards.
Insight?
Oh god, I selected the wrong sheet, but yeah.
Great.
It's not that awful, is it?
Okay,
You see these cards, and by the way she's spoken to everyone, she knows a lot. She hasn't particularly let on to any information. She's not. I'm just kind of rewording the current situation, but you can tell she knows a lot more than she is telling you about. But just because she's not telling you about it doesn't mean she's hiding anything. She hasn't actively tried to avoid any subjects. So.
Okay. I would like to carefully and sneakily take 2 cards out of the middle of the deck and keep those to myself and pass the deck along.
But you'll ruin the magic.
Do you want to roll me sleight of hand with disadvantage? No, actually, I'll say advantage. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't need it.
Thank you. 23.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. In that case, give me a second.
Ooh.
For what I've done.
Can you please roll me 2
Why you got to steal off an old lady?
D54?
What kind of people are you?
So what? I'm talking.
2 D54.
2d4.
2d52.
D54.
2d54. Okay, nice.
Fuck.
D54.
Wait, does everyone roll that or?
No,
Nope,
yes
just him.
him.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was a low
Okay.
for being 2d54s.
No, it's what cards he stole.
I know, but why 54?
Because that's how many cards is in a standard deck of cards.
Though that's 52.
That's why it's
I am confused.
Unless you count the jokers.
Yes.
Which you do.
Wait, you said she's doing a tarot reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't use those cards for tarot reading.
My fucking god, Ben.
I'm not actually looking at the cards here, by the way. I'm just keeping them to myself
You
for now.
don't use a regular playing deck of cards for
Actually,
tarot
no.
reading.
To be honest, you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Do you
you
normally
can.
use tarot cards?
Yeah, but you actually can use
Not accurately, in terms of like old English like magic and shit like that.
No, but my magic and shit like this is bullshit.
And Ben, I could hear.
Just to clarify, I have not looked at
I
the
can't
cards
hear
yet.
multiple voices at
keeping 'em.
once. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
I'll look at them later. Maybe.
I'm just making sure that they won't come out. Like I
he'll
don't know
die
why they're
too,
not
then.
coming out, but I've marked down which ones you've got. Let me just make sure that I write this somewhere.
We're gonna end up with a campaign where all of Michael's characters die related to Yonorin somehow.
Yep.
Uh, And the oh no, it'd be that one.
I just feel like if she's a mystic old lady sitting in a tent, she wouldn't be using playing cards.
She isn't using playing cards. We are representing the tarot cards as regular cards.
Well, if she's doing the reading, why doesn't she have her own cards?
She does
Then-
have her own cards. She gave you the cards that are all clearly tarot cards and passed them around.
I like this. This is good. Thank you.
Then, for fuck's sake.
Okay, okay. I've marked down. Oh god, did I choose cancel? No, I didn't. Okay, okay. Oh, that scared me. Okay.
Heart rate.
You managed to slip these 2 cards out while shuffling, and then pass it to the next person who is sitting on a chest, and that is Ikor. Ikor's not used to cards, so he very carefully splits the deck, passes the piece over piece, and rejoins it. Splits the deck again, passes piece over piece, and rejoins it.
In the middle, both times.
In the middle, both times. And then passes it back
Oh yeah.
to Madam Eva.
Eva.
Thank you very much. Though I'm not sure your shuffling was too precise, Ikor. Though that might be the way it's meant to be. Let's see what you got.
And with the cards that are remaining in the deck,
The first card, referring to an item that will help you in your travels. The second card, again, an item. And then again with the third.
There's a lot of items. I didn't even know.
I hope someone is taking notes.
Oh, that's a lot of items.
And what are these items?
Or hopefully one of them's toothbrush.
All
with
will
a
be revealed as the cards get their turn. Do not worry, little Yen. There is someone that will help you on your journey. This card shall tell us who. And when all things come to an apex, when it seems there is no hope left,
What's an apex?
the peak.
Oh, thank you.
The climax.
When finally all cards must be played and the outcome must come to be, this card will tell us where it shall occur.
Are you
Man.
moving cards on the screen, Leighton?
oh god, I forgot to move you guys over. Well, there are the cards. I brought them out one by one.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
My
The first card, the traitor. Oh, how interesting.
What does that mean?
I see a man of wines in
Oh,
a
we're just
forest.
wine.
Look to the wizard of wines. In
Oh, I would advise someone writes this down, by the way.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
look to the wizard of wines. In wood and in sand, great knowledge hides.
In wood and in.
Sand.
Sand.
Okay.
Great knowledge odds.
I- Okay,
I don't know how to.
Oh,
Knowledge. Word.
oh boy.
I
8.
don't like those.
The 8 of stars. The necromancer.
No.
I see a woman. A woman hanging above a roaring fire.
Can you pause for 1 second?
Why?
Depends
sorry.
why.
I'm just gonna open up a proper note-taking stuff.
You mean notepad?
Yeah. Something better than that.
You mean Word?
The necromancer.
It's
I don't
almost like
use
when I said
Word.
people should take notes, I meant people should take notes.
Oh,
almost
well,
like
that's
I'm
what
gonna
you
write
meant,
that, it's
Leighton.
not gonna take notes.
Do you mean a rich text document?
I'm not gonna take notes. Because if I take notes, it'll become a chore, and I won't enjoy the game anymore.
If I take notes, no one will be able to understand it.
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
Not even you would.
No, not even I would. Especially if I'm writing it down.
You ready, Rama?
Give me 2 seconds.
I was just
You've had
planning.
like almost a minute.
Yeah, I'm setting up
Yeah,
the
man.
document.
What? Are you
He's
doing a
choosing
freaking
his font,
latex
Leighton.
document or something?
He's choosing his
No,
font.
it's not a latest
He's
document.
underlining points. He's bullet pointing it.
He's doing his smart title 3D
He's
golden
choosing the
gradient.
right
Yeah.
font size. He's choosing italics, bold.
I see a woman hanging above a roaring fire. Find this woman and you will find a powerful shield against the darkness.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The 3rd card. The 9 of swords. The torturer.
Oh, kinky.
Oh, that's not very.
I see a large town where all is not well.
This town. Oh my god.
Within this town you shall find a house filled with corruption,
I've already
and
been
within
to
it
that house.
a dark room full of ghosts.
Then just turns around and goes, "Haven't we already been in one?"
I don't want to go inside any more houses.
Neither do I. Even though I've already been in one. 2. If you count the church as 1, then 3.
And this, the person who shall help you in your journey.
Me!
I see a fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights.
It's Randall.
He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair.
When you say Dragon's Lair, do you actually mean Dragon's Lair or do you mean something else?
Well, she
I
said that.
see the lair of a dragon, small Cartiff.
So there's an actual Dragon's Lair here.
Could you type that name out?
Well, she
Called
did say it
Carthage.
was dead.
Okay.
Why do you want to know my last name?
He asked what she said.
Oh, Carter. Yeah, Yang Carter.
It's like Cardiff with a T.
Yes.
That was extremely
Oh god.
intelligent. Okay.
Yeah, +5 to intelligence, mate.
Yes.
What about that last card then?
And finally, the dungeon.
Oh, I think
Dungeon
that's
spelt wrong.
I see STRAHD. I see him in a hall of bones.
What, mate?
Why
I
would you
see
keep going
him-
to a donjon?
in the darkest pits of his castle. And I see behind him figures, artifacts among them. A necklace on one, glowing through the darkness. A book in the hand of another. And standing with them is a figure holding a sword, its blade of pure light.
Ooh. Ooh. Yen is intrigued. Holding a lightsaber.
Well,
She sweeps her hand over the cards, and they are straight back into the stack.
this deck feels lighter than it was before. Though I fear that is how it must be.
That was really anticlimactic. But
No, it was
Well,
good, dude. There were just people talking over you.
I-
and going,
I
"Oh,
meant anticlimactic when the music stopped.
Yeah.
oh."
She feels the weight of the cards in her hand and eyes across the room. Kalista. Michael, is your mic muted again?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Why do you keep muting it?
Because I'm eating pizza as well. It's got hard crust.
Can you roll me a deception with advantage?
Okay. Mm. +5 without proficiency. That's bards for you.
Kalista, I believe you have something that belongs to me.
Excuse me?
Oh, I feel
sweating,
very
dear.
naughty.
Eyes flinching.
Ah, my 2 cards. Yeah, I was going to read them later. Is that a problem?
It is, unless you want to buy the deck.
Nah, no. Here you go.
Well, then that's stealing.
I'm
Oh,
not interested. Well, I'm not interested in such cards anyway, so. Doesn't really
if you're
matter,
not
does it?
interested in them, then why would you take them?
Yeah, what the
Curiosity, I guess. But anyway, have them back.
Do you hand them to her then?
Yep.
Then
So I kind of like don't. I kind of like do just before she actually holds them. I just kind of like fling them to her.
you take a step or two into the room and reach out your hand with the cards in them. And as her arm stretches out, you flick them forwards. And she catches them both in that hand with little effort. Without actually standing up, this is.
Okay.
So tell me, where is it you take the girl?
Why should we tell?
Don't you already
You
know?
need not. This is not an interrogation.
Being the vampire bait by any chance?
Don't you not already know where we take her?
I know
How
what
did you
direction
even-
you're headed in. Where you
But
stop is beyond me.
And how did you even know how we got here, like when and stuff like that?
She know.
I-
Did she
the-
have
The wind
name?
whispers. People talk. It is not hard to know things when you know how to listen.
Well,
Yeah,
we're heading off to
fair
a
enough.
city. We're heading that way. Yonarin points to his left. We thought we'd just come talk to
Late,
you lot and try and say hello to some friendly-looking travellers.
Leighton.
A city. Is that to Valaki, I presume, or Kresk?
Oh, it's the lucky one. That's the one.
Hello.
I see.
Yes, binary.
did he point in the right direction? And if he didn't, I wanted to
Yeah,
move
yeah,
his
he
hand
did.
slightly.
It was just the general right direction.
I wanted to move his hand slightly. It was off.
You could have adjusted it to make it exact, sure.
Yeah.
You know, and correction goes, I know where I'm pointing.
It's a long journey left ahead of you.
Oh yes, it's very long indeed. We should get going then. So it's
A day, at least. Do you plan on walking at night?
you know, and just kind of looks at the rest of the group and goes,
No, we plan
It's
to
about
stay.
evening, about 4 p.m.
yes, we do.
No, we're gonna sleep first.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna sleep. Yeah, that's the one.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
why not?
What was her name?
Madam Eva.
I had a question for Madam Eva. Have you ever heard of the name Rudolf van Richten?
Roll insight and actually no, wait, I forgot about this. Okay, I needed to declare this at the start of the session, but
Right.
now's as good a time as any.
Yeah.
From now on, I will be rolling perception and insight checks myself, so that whatever answer I give you guys, you take it at face value.
Yep.
Okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
Okie doke. And I will be rolling insight on your cheat.
How are we supposed to know someone's lying?
Well, you roll insight and then I'll give you an answer, but whether you knew if you got a high roll or a low roll, that's up in the air.
I don't think you should do that for us, because if a player doesn't think to try and be more perceptive or try and detect lies or anything like that, then they shouldn't be given benefit of the doubt. It
I
wouldn't
don't
allow us
understand
to-
by what you mean benefit of the doubt.
Well, it wouldn't allow us to use our own intuition to figure out if someone's lying or not, and therefore we're not playing
Oh,
the
you
game,
can
you're playing it
absolutely
for
no,
us.
no. What I mean is, I'm not gonna roll it for you out of the blue. You still ask to roll it, but you don't roll the dice. I do,
Oh, that's weird. Why?
because otherwise, if you get a low roll, you want to roll again, and somebody else will say it. If you get a high roll, then you know you got a high roll. If I'm the one rolling the dice, then you don't know whether you rolled low or high. You take the answer I give you at face value.
You don't normally let us roll it again.
The same person, no, but if somebody else wants to, I do.
Well,
Rage quit.
Did he just rage
Even
quit? What was that?
No, I don't know.
I know, I didn't.
Oh,
Who was that?
It was.
that was Arga. I presume he'll be back in a moment.
Yeah.
I need to poop.
Well then go poop.
Sorry, I forgot what the context was when I asked you to roll insight.
Yeah, I was wondering why you just rolled me insight straight away without her saying anything as well.
I was rolling it before she said whatever she was going to say. What was the
Oh.
conversation topic?
I asked if you ever heard of Rudolf van Richten.
Oh, okay. It was because it was a question that I figured you might want to roll insight to, so
Oh.
I just said
Yeah.
it straight away. Just checking my notes.
Checking my notes.
I
Checking
mean,
my
if
notes.
she knows our name, she should know most people's names.
Ah, is that how he brought you here?
Yes.
I heard he had arrived, but I don't know where he is. There have been whispers of his name.
Wait, what did she answer?
Is he as bad as I've heard?
Oh.
Can you roll me a persuasion? And she says, I must be careful with what I say. Too much, and it could come back to haunt me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Which
And if you want to try and persuade her, you're going to need to roleplay it.
Yeah. Even wait. So you don't want me to roll a persuasion?
Both.
Okay.
And you can do them in either order.
Well, if he's as bad as I've heard, he's better off gone than here. So any information that lets me catch him, deal with him, is beneficial to you and your group. Wouldn't you think?
Okay, I'll give that advantage. 13.
Yeah. Like -1 persuasion. I'm usually like high charisma. Or rage. Intimidation.
I'll not put my neck out for you that far, I'm afraid.
Fine.
Is this it then? Are you off? No more words for me?
I have a question.
What is that?
What do you know of STRAHD? Does he have any weaknesses?
Like before, what I know of STRAHD, I shall not speak of. Those who talk too much can have things come back on them. You might be wise to remember that.
Do you know how we can traverse the fog?
Wait, listen, I wasn't talking about STRAHD, I was talking about
You can put that together however you want.
Traverse the fog? No, I have no help for you there.
Well, we already know that we can go across the fog if we pay that nice gentleman for his potion.
Does that potion work?
Why don't you try it and see?
Then I insight check that.
Yeah, I'll roll it.
Did I get anything from the other insight check?
No, she has an extremely neutral expression. She
Okay.
is rather unreadable.
Okay.
Though, right now, she's grinning.
In what way?
She somewhat seems to find what Yennerin said funny.
Ah, okay.
I am back from doing my shit.
Hope you enjoyed it.
It was a clean cut one.
Oh,
Wow,
it's now
we
dead.
want to know that.
Of course you
What
do,
about the
Roman.
wipe? What about the wipe?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Oh,
Is that it then? Do you leave me here?
Well, I think we should get going. You guys are chit-chatting for a very long time. She's been very nice, but we shouldn't bother her much longer.
I feel like you want us to ask something specific. So why don't you cut the games and just tell us what it is you want to tell us?
I'm not trying to get you to ask anything specific, Hogan.
How do you know our names?
Oh, I catch whispers through the grapevine.
Well, there's not many vines here. There's a lot of fog, though.
Bang. Tell you what, I am going to scrap the idea of rolling them myself, specifically because it's too much effort. Can you please roll me perception?
I'm gonna slap you, you little baby bitch boy.
Boy, if there was a little ramp that you could drop a d20 into and like have it roll down so only I could see it, I'd love that. But
Perception. And I'm so perceiving.
there is a crystal ball on her desk, and you do know that witches are, renowned for looking into crystal balls to see the future, other places, that sort of thing.
Alright.
Corin, you'd already have noticed that.
So he's just looked at her and he said, like, there's not a lot of vines here, but there's a lot of fog. And then he just kind of looked at the table and gone, oh,
Yeah.
can you tell my fortune with that globy thing?
I already told your fortune, child.
Well, you told our fortune. I would like to know mine in particular, out of curiosity.
Sure. Let me just sort my decks.
Okay,
Fucking hell.
let's have some fun with this.
God. The DM will kill you on the 8th session when the moon is full.
This is the 8th session.
And the oh no! Guys,
Is the
I'm
moon
gonna
full?
die.
Like then.
I'm kidding.
I
I
can't
don't know
see
if this
the
is the
moon,
8th
it's too
session. but-
cloudy.
Um,
On the 9th session.
actually, I'm going to put that one away.
I'm
Have I
sorry, I have to
moved?
check a small thing. I will be right back.
Oh no, I don't.
Is it
Okay.
his penis?
I was about to say.
For your information, my girlfriend told me my penis is perfectly adequate.
Perfect.
For your information, that's very underwhelming.
Is that her wording though? Was she like, it's
No.
perfectly adequate, honey?
Right, Ben.
Ben, it's called a joke.
Ben,
Oh
Like
my
your
god,
penis.
you fucking retard.
Oh. Ram's
Yeah.
got a tiny penis.
He's got a perfectly adequate one.
I'm shuffling these decks, and then I'm going to deal you
But
two
that's not
common
what-
cards and one rare card.
Oh, nice. Is this like Magic the Gathering?
Yeah. Apart from people can't just
Your
put in the
name
barcode.
isn't in the players list. That is the
What?
Is the window not big enough to fit your name in? That's why. The window just genuinely wasn't big enough to fit your name in.
Whose
My
name?
name's like a sentence.
Can you place those cards from your little inventory just above your name down onto the table, please? Just drag them down.
It won't let me
Yeah.
drag, but I can see what they
Oh,
say.
you're back.
Yeah.
You can't drag them onto the screen.
I mean, I click on them and I can see what they say, and they'll just come up like, oh,
Hola, hola.
Nani?
Okay, and this is the high card. Don't move them, please. So we'll do it in the circle format like before.
It's not a circle.
This first card is of your past. The Diviner. You have sought to find your way, and feel that now you are closer than ever to how you should truly be.
Oh, I feel like I'm in the wrong place though. I don't like the fog.
Do they know the way?
Oh, shut the
The
fuck up.
future.
Sorry.
The Enchanter. Ahead of you, you will find yourself coming out of your shell.
Future.
Yourself and those around you changing at your will.
And some Chantal's like, that's already happened to Rogar though.
You will not always be who you believe you are.
Or it's not sound at all.
And
Next note.
finally, the Raven.
The Baven.
Did you guys know that the Raven is a very intelligent bird?
There is something dark that you have already experienced. There is something dark coming for you.
He witnessed his own conception.
I do not know what it is, but when it arrives, you shall.
I shall what? Know
Know
what
what
it is?
it is. Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd feel like that would be. Yes, I feel like that would be necessary to seeing it when it arrives. Or does this sounds like a very sort of very frightening. I don't like this prophecy. Can you read them again?
Prophecies are non-refundable, Yenarin.
Yen just sighs and goes, "Go on then, do mine as well. You might as well, if you're entertaining
Ah,
She gets the card. Biggest, blackest, dickest.
us." Biggest, blackest sticker.
Your future holds a great big black cock.
A giant, massive erection is in your future.
Terrifying to behold.
Oh god, this is the wrong one. There we go. One high card. Yen.
Ben.
Yeah.
Are you gonna move back to the other
Two.
No,
screen?
I'm just added B to Yen.
Low cards. Yen. Can you drag the cards onto the board, please, George?
We can't see the board, Leighton.
I can't see the board.
Ah. Can you please drag the cards onto the board, George?
What?
The cards that are currently just above your name at the bottom of the screen.
2, 1, 2.
Just drag them onto the board, please.
I'm dragging the numbers on top of.
Oh, I
Go
can do
on.
it.
Huh?
What does it say? There was a button that said steal card, so I
Yeah.
clicked steal.
Yeah, I
And
can
now what
also
does it say?
I can also steal card.
Yeah, still request. The
Just
do you want me
choose
to read the
cancel.
card out?
Can you just
No.
if you click
Oh,
the
no.
cards, can you
No,
drag
what?
those bigger versions of the cards onto the table?
Okay. Oh. I thought you meant drag the little cards on my name.
It's fine, it's fine.
Right,
Could you do
so
that for me, please?
which one's the high card? Which one's the low card? Which number's which?
It literally says high cards above the high card.
Not on my name.
If you click the small cards,
Oh. Oh.
You dummy.
Idiots.
There's the high
and then the
card.
two smaller cards, please.
There you go.
Thank you.
Please don't hate me.
Hate
In your
Norway.
past, I see pain.
Yep, lot of that.
You did whatever you needed to get what you wanted.
Well, my dad did.
Did it pay off for you?
Nope.
Interesting. And in your future, I see profit.
Oh.
You'll have
Oh.
people doing what you need them to,
Or there's lag.
but only if you play your cards right. And right now, you had best watch out.
Ooh.
Is anyone speaking?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm back. I'm sorry I was away.
I'm
back.
sorry, I'm back.
Ben cannot hear us.
I can now. For some reason,
Oh,
you're
okay.
lagging really
Is
hard.
this
for a sec.
Ben's?
It would be you, not us.
Yeah, I know, but it comes out as
It's
if
not
you're
you, Ben.
lagging.
Yeah.
Best way to describe it.
Is this Ben's reading or Yennarin's
No,
reading?
No,
this
this
is
is
George's.
mine.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, carry on.
You are causing problems more than you realize.
Oh,
Be
slap.
careful, or old habits shall consume you.
What, like stealing shit?
That was what I was hinting at, yes.
But it's fun.
Fun though it may be, in a world such as this, you need friends. Or they will be replaced by a tombstone.
Yen just looks at Yennerin with like puppy dog eyes. It says, "You're my friend, aren't you?"
I just
Wait.
have this image of Hogan standing over them like, ugh.
You know, and just kind of go, well, on the brighter side, our accumulated mass would be a lot less heavy than a singular tombstone, so I think you could steal that as well.
I got none of that.
But Yunoran says, he goes, on the bright side, I think a tombstone would have less weight than our accumulated masses put together, so you should be able to steal that as well.
Thank you for the belief in my stealing capability, General.
No, I just don't think you can carry all of us.
Anyone else?
So
Mike Wazowski.
I'm watching you, Wazowski.
So-
Always watching.
so I'm sorry. So there are per person readings now.
Yes.
If you want them, but she's clearly getting a bit annoyed.
No, we're done here. Let's go.
No. I wasn't interested.
I'm getting crazy lag, guys.
I'd say we're done here. Thank you, Lathan.
see you.
I think we should go. We seem to be irritating the kind missus. We shouldn't bother how much more.
Yeah, that's
further
what
now. We
exactly
should
what I
just leave
said,
and go and
Yennerin.
check shit.
All right, let's keep moving.
Wait. So you guys talked about sleeping. So what are your plans?
So you step out back into the
Ooh.
Okay, on the way
you
out,
step
I
out
want to
from
do
the
a thing.
tent back to the camp.
Just on the
What did
way
you want
out,
to do? Sorry. Yep.
I want to cast message on Eva, saying, "You're more vigilant than you appear." And I just
She
leave.
replies with, "You are more foolish than you know."
Kalisa stops in her track
Get
Yeah,
fucked.
and turns around a little bit.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Okay.
Get absolutely.
She casts message
dunked
again
on.
saying, "Stop mistaking me for such a simpleton. It will do you no favors."
It is not I who will have no favors mistaking others for simpletons.
Did she say that out loud?
No.
Through message.
Oh, I was gonna say. No, I'd be like, what the fuck, bro?
Kalisa chuckles, not taking her seriously, not seeing her of any importance whatsoever to anyone, and continues on her way.
Why you gotta play douche?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Someone more
Just roleplay.
big-headed than their stuff.
Sure.
That's all.
Oh, wrong one. You step out, and you are back in the camp. Let's try and get something. I suppose that's about as uplifting as I've got right now. You step back out of the camp and out of the tent, sorry, into the camp,
Uplifting?
and there's still people sitting. It's about as uplifting as I've got, okay? And there's still people sitting around the fire enjoying their drinks. You see, the big guy Ormin is now talking with Garen and his daughter, who's just constantly trying to get attention, stomping on his feet, pulling at his arm, "Dad, come on," type thing. While his other daughter is sitting there stitching. The rest of the camp is rather well spaced out. Kalista, you can see Talana if you want to talk to her.
Oh yeah.
And the caravans are spaced out in a general circle with a few small tents around the outside, and then the one large tent you just left, Madame Eva's. To the north of you, the river's blowing past, and it's adding a rather brisk chill to the air, which is kept off by the fire. Alongside the river, there's a large amount of horses drinking. Does anybody want to do anything?
Well, I
Take a long
wanted
rest.
to ask. Yeah, I wanted to ask how do they plan the long rest? Should we just ask people to stay here and stuff?
Can you
Or
guys
was
hear
it
me?
okay from the beginning? I don't remember.
Garen said that if you wanted to stay, you could,
Okay.
but he
Can
didn't really give you
anyone
any
hear me?
details. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Hogan says, I don't want to disturb these nice people, so I'm just gonna set up my bedroll somewhere nice and try and get some good night's sleep. Maybe you should do
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, I'll go with Hogan. Like they already offer us. Yeah, they already told us we could stay. I'm not getting in.
Yen
into
picks up a stone
this.
with her mage hand and says, "Wherever this stone lands, that's where I'm gonna sleep." And she launches it as hard as she can into the sky.
But
Mage hand.
you could hit someone with that. And
Can it fall?
and mid just
Can it fall on a piece of manure, please? Can it fall on a piece of manure?
Wait, what did he do?
Yeah, I
and
didn't
mid-
catch it.
Right, basically, Yen used her mage hand to pick up a stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, wherever this stone lands, she hasn't made it invisible or anything, it's visible. And says, wherever this stone lands, that's where I'm gonna sleep, and just launches it in the sky.
Launched
then-
it in the sky, like straight up.
Yeah, just straight up.
And Rama said, "Please let it land in manure."
Can you make me a luck roll, George?
Okay.
That one.
Is that just a D20?
Yep, just a d20.
Mod 0.
Oh.
17.
Rather high. Okay. It lands relatively where you currently are, just a bit further west. Still inside of the caravan circle, alongside the river, on a nice grassy patch.
Yen just goes, that's where I'm sleeping. Pulls out her 3 cloaks that she has.
Do you have the hat
And
as
uses
well?
them as blankets.
Do you have the hat as well?
I
Oh,
The
yeah.
hat.
Oh, yeah. I picked up the top,
the top hat.
I took a top
Oh
hat.
yeah. When you get the top hat out, it has holes in it now. Like it is really unbelievably old, caked in dust, and worn so badly that it would look awful on the oldest of skeletons.
Yen just starts to go, my top hat, and just and then she just stops crying and just launches it in the river and goes to sleep. Underneath her
Yeet.
3 cloaks. Literally, her
Yeets it
3
away.
cloaks.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I prepare my bed near where Hogan went, but before doing any long rest, I'd like to wait. Where's my? Yeah, I'd like to I have this thing with my to scavenge stuff for my medic, my medicine kit. Wait, I have the things somewhere.
Oh my god, stop burping into the mic.
Yeah.
Hmm?
But once per day, you may spend an hour searching for natural remedies.
Do you want to go searching on your own?
Yeah. Yes, but before I'd like to turn into a cat and maybe like try to smell because you know.
Can I have my
cats.
owl follow the weird looking cat?
You right. So mid, you wanted to do this on your own.
Yeah, like just you know. Make,
If you
don't go,
where
don't
where
go-
would you have turned into a cat?
Like people, like the group, maybe not just in like right in the middle of the caravan circle, but just like where maybe only the group could see me, like not just you know kind of not in front of everyone, just like you know I'm okay with the group seeing it, but
Okay,
maybe
you
not.
find a little patch between some of the tents, and you're within sight of the group, but a bit away from them. And Koran would catch this. He's got a very high passive perception.
Yeah.
And as you turn into a cat, his owl does start following you.
Would I know about it? Like,
Yeah, you would. You would be aware.
oh shit.
Never split up the party.
Wait, did it not?
Where have you learned that?
Ah, okay, so that's an old token, so it wouldn't work on that. But if I drag in this one, then it would. So if I do da and then da and then da, yeah, there we go. Okay, sorry, I'm just keeping track of this on another tab.
Mhm. So yeah, I'd use like the cat's senses to search for, I don't know, like plants.
Okay, can you roll me a perception? You have advantage.
I've closed the.
Could
sorry.
I jump into owl vision and start scanning for things that might want to eat the small little cat?
Yep, you have no problem with that.
I'm sorry, I'm taking time.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, yeah, you get this done in about 20 minutes, though it would usually take you longer. Um. You restock your healer's kit with a number of uses equal to your proficiency modifier at no soct.
At no, oh shit, at no cost.
Oh, at no cost. Okay. Um. In addition, you may craft antivals and potions of your herbalist kit, using half normal time, 1 every 5 days instead of 1 every 10. Okay. Yeah.
So the little kitty goes around and pick up flowers.
Okie doke. Yeah, you get enough stuff.
Okay, so two. Yeah, two.
Eventually you make your way back to the group, at which point the rest of the group has spread out and has started doing their sleeping gear.
Yeah.
So, guys, I presume you're all just camping? You're not going to try and find any spaces within the caravan place itself, but you're still camping within their circle?
Yeah.
Since Yennarin's already set down, are you all staying with her?
I stick with Talana, but yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to talk to Talana at all?
Nothing special, nothing particular.
Oh
So
my
when she
God.
settles down to sleep inside of a caravan, what are you doing?
I actually, is the grounds good enough for me to write something down?
I don't know what you mean by write. Are you
Well-
using a pen?
Well, yeah, my character's got in an inventory got sheets of paper and quill and stuff and ink.
The floor itself is not stable enough, no.
Ah, okay.
The backside of your pack, maybe.
No, it wouldn't come out nice. It depends what you're trying to write. If you want it to be legible, I'd advise using something
Yeah,
hard.
I want to write a poem. Really nice writing.
Unless you leant against the side of a caravan, you wouldn't really have much option there.
Nah, not doing that. I play some sort of depressing sounding eerie music, my violin, just for a bit.
Okay.
I just realized another really nice usage for Tanser's floating disk. Portable table.
Hey, yeah. Okay. Well, you guys settle down then, and over the course of the night, have a long rest. In that case, is anyone keeping watch?
Owl is keeping a watch. Hoot is keeping watch. At least
Oh,
yes,
that's
for me.
nice.
I don't know. So are we already sleeping, or do we? Do you allow for us to make a decision first? Yeah.
I've said repeatedly, do you want to do anything? So if you want to do something, by all means do it.
Yeah. So the Vistanis have like some sort of watch, do they, or do they all go into the caravans?
It seems like a few of them are staying up through the whole night. When it gets round to quite late, when it hits about 8 and it is so dark that you can barely see, the fire is still going and there are still people talking around it.
Well-
Before Hogan goes to sleep, can he go talk to one of these guards?
Well,
They're not
myself
really
and,
guards; they are just normal people. But yes, the same people are up as before. But Garen is no longer with his two daughters, and Ormin is particularly drunk. The guy who was offering you the way through the fog.
Okay, but can I talk to them anyways?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hogan asks, are you staying up to look out for the camp?
I shall be, though not for much longer. And Ormin seems a bit of a state, so we were thinking of waking Ela.
All right, just make sure if something happens, wake me up first.
Why?
Because I'm the strongest here.
Is my mic working yet? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear
yeah,
you.
we can.
Oh shit. Okay, fine.
Usually we can hear you even when you're lagging. It's just you can't hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys properly, so I thought I'd check.
Okay.
So,
I think there are a few people here that would disagree with you on that one. Though I'm not going to dispute that you are particularly large.
can somebody
If you
fill
want to
me
be
in?
woken... Sorry?
Can somebody fill me in on what I missed?
I
Because my
will do
lag-
in just a second. If you want to be woken first, then when we wake Ela, you're going to need to take it up with her.
All right, how about instead of waking her up, I'll hold the next watch.
They look at each other and both grin. Ormin laughs really loudly, and that turns a few heads. Only one or two, because not many people are up still. And Garen pats him on the shin and says, Ormin, shut up. Everybody's sleeping. I don't think it would be wise for us to trust a newcomer with a watch. Sorry, I don't mean offense.
Okay then. I guess. Fine.
Yeah, get wrecked, bitch.
He walks away.
Okay. You find your group again, no problem.
Yeah.
And atop one of the caravans is sitting the owl that you have gotten rather
Yep.
familiar with. Mid, did you want to turn back, or are you just going to sleep as a cat?
No, wait.
Is
what?
he a cat?
No,
Yeah,
no,
he's a cat.
I turned back. I turned back. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to pet the cat.
Pet the
You
pussy.
can come pet my cat.
No.
Oh, see the cat. I'm a cat person. Ben.
I'll
So
send you a
a few people had some carve readings. The group decided that they were done with the carve readings and stepped outside.
No.
I believe a few people took notes on details of the carve reading. Worst comes to worst, it'll be on YouTube eventually.
I
Yeah.
took notes.
On the
Yeah.
YouTubes.
Yes.
The group cards, yeah.
Oh, Leighton. Who has dark vision? 60 feet.
I
Who
do.
has 60
I
foot
do.
dark vision?
No, wait. Sorry. Not 60. It's 120.
I have dark.
How does this come about?
It's an owl.
Do owls have dark vision in D&D?
Yeah.
I didn't
Very good
realize.
dark vision.
Okay.
And advantage on perception checks using hearing and sight.
They are owls, not good for much else.
Okay, well, in that case, he's going to get 60-foot dark vision, isn't he?
No,
Look,
I am an
120.
owl.
Oh, 100. Oh, fucking hell, that's big.
I know.
It's an owl. What the fuck did you think it was?
I figured it was less overpowered.
What else is the owl gonna do? Owl can't cast a lightning bolt, can it?
It can actually.
Oh my god.
What?
If it's a touch spell, Binary can cast it through the owl.
Fuck's sake. Good owl. Good owl.
Settle down.
Good owl. Good owl. That's right. Don't taser your owner.
Yeah, but did the owl get the lightning spells through the owner or through?
It's through the owner, but
Yeah, there we go. So
you pet the owl and the owner doesn't like you, you're gonna get tasered nipples.
that's fine. I think that's fair though, because that's like not just your regular owl. That's an owl with benefits.
Bloody owls on benefits, they should get a job. Just checking stuff. Okay.
Okay, you wanna see the cat?
Wait, what?
Okay. Can everybody, please roll me perception?
I thought you were gonna roll it for us.
Hey, suck my DM.
You are the DM. I'd have to suck all of you.
I
Yeah,
got the 24.
The whole DM, nothing but the DM.
Shit, what?
Leighton,
I
did you
eat
hear
DM
me?
like I eat ass.
No, I didn't hear you, Rama.
If you wanna see the cat, look in shit bucket.
Is your cat a shit?
That is actually adorable.
That is just a
That
cat.
does not look like a Chewbacca.
Kind of.
No.
Chewbacca's brown!
Also, it's
Well-
Chewbacca, not Shoebacca.
Shut up.
Who said
Okay,
Chewbacca?
Yen,
The texture is
Koran,
kind of similar.
Yen, Koran.
Yep.
You both
Yes.
wake up in the middle of the night to rather vigorous conversation.
Panting, heavy breathing.
In the mist that is quite far away, but somewhat closer than it was the day before, there's something watching the camp, and it keeps being pointed out by the Vistani.
Can I jump into owl vision and fly a bit closer to see what it is?
Sure. Your owl's on a nearby caravan, and it keeps looking in that direction, but can't see from where it is due to the
Yeah.
foliage. And it flies ever so slightly further, less than 5 feet further
Yeah.
than the furthest guard, and sits on top of the caravan that's nearest the edge of the camp, and looks. And in the darkness, you see a wolf in passing, the reflection of light in its eyes. And then you see another wolf pass. And then you hear a crunch of a few branches. And you see two eyes that were about 3 feet higher up than the previous. And it's not because it's up a hill, it's because the wolf is the size of a bear.
Could I make sure that everyone is awake?
Yen is standing up at this point
How would
and staring at this said wolf.
You don't see it. You are too far away to even
Yeah,
know
no,
this is going
no,
on, but
I
you can
just
see
said
the
that.
people around the campfire pointing and talking to each other,
Is it
and you
across
can
the
see
river?
a few of the bushes rustling.
Is it across the river?
No, it's to the south, across the
Oh.
other side of the campfire, through the camp itself, in the tree line.
Well, Yen will run to the edge of the campfire and just stand there and have a look.
So there's the two sides of the campfire. There's the forest side where you're seeing movement, and there's the party side. Which side are you going to?
The forest side.
Okay.
Did you hear that I tried make sure that everyone is awake?
I did. So you come out of your owl vision and start waking people up.
Yeah.
I'm just setting up a map.
Or would the
You
loud
finish long rest.
No, not yet.
a short rest?
Long rest, he said.
Oh, but would we have finished a short rest?
You were asleep and have just woken up in the middle of it. So no, you haven't particularly patched anything up.
Okay.
The stuff that you would have had prepared for the morning is not quite ready.
Okay.
Do.
I cast Mage
Okay,
Armor.
and then just moving to people where they were.
Can I do that?
Cast Mage Armor, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck off, Irina. I'm trying to grab Nicole.
Did we have any else not armored in the party?
As you look around the party, you can see that Hogan is not wearing any armor. Though he seems rather deft at handling himself regardless.
Yeah.
And also Mott, Ekor's companion, is not wearing any armor, but he is a wolf.
I was like,
So,
wait.
You feel, Hogan, you feel a hand on your shoulder as Corin is shaking you awake, looking out to the forest to the southwest.
What's going on?
Danger close.
Here you are.
Which one is the big one?
What do you mean? Which one's the big one?
Oh, I thought I saw a wolf.
You're not
Give
away.
me a sec. Give 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 me a sec.
Hogan jumps up, draws his axe, and is like, I'm ready for this.
Please give me just a moment. I will be ready soon.
Do you imbeciles really have to wake me up? Fine.
And
If it's that important to you.
I would give
There's
you a slap.
danger nearby. Wakey, wakey, people.
Where's Hoot?
Okay.
Oh, there is Hoot. Okay.
Would you like me to create a really loud sound to properly wake everyone up? I could do that.
Is Yonoran awake?
Don't wake the whole camp
Yes,
up.
yes, he's just being woken up now.
Yeah, wake the whole
You
camp up.
change your mind, just say.
Does he notice the wolves yet?
Learn a new technique.
No, you cannot see the wolves. Nobody where you are can see the wolves. You've just been told they're there.
There's wolves. We should go tell everyone immediately.
Would I be able to make Hoot screech?
Yennerin.
Screech?
Yeah, screech like an owl.
Is that a sound that owls make?
I think so, yeah. I will tell you in like 10 seconds.
There's such a thing as a screech owl.
Yennerin, I have to ask something. Would you like me, with a single clap of my hands, should I wake up the whole camp? I could do it.
Alright then. Maybe everyone should be alert.
Okay, you best stand back. I cast Thunderclap in the open so that no one actually gets hurt.
There we go. This is what I was after.
Why can't Calista just have like a like a rock and roll riff spell? She goes and the whole camp wakes up.
Oh wait, why is that not working?
And
Does
then
that
she
not have
does a
light?
solo like
There you go.
yeah, the vision
Just
is
want to make sure
working
you
now.
can see light from the campfire, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah,
And vision is working as well.
Sick.
At least for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Someone
sounds
just went to
fine.
the loom. Michael, are you still there, yeah?
Yep, hello.
Okay. You release this clap, and it resounds through the entire camp, echoing over the water, and you see a few birds leave trees. Instantly, there's a reaction. People start charging out of tents, gathering around. And one of the first few people over to you is Solana, believe it or not, who leaps from the caravan and runs over. There's a slightly desperate look in her eye. She's got a sword in its sheath in her offhand, and she says, "What was that? What's going on?"
Calm down. There's apparently been some wolves running about.
There's been some.
So yeah, I just thought I'd wake everybody up. Why not?
You're
Give this to
waking
my
people
new
up
foundation.
because there are wolves.
Apparently.
Because there are apparently wolves.
They are
Yeah.
that, and one of them looks like to be about. I surmise about the height of my. What would it be? My chest, my nipples.
What did you think to talk to the guards? Wolves have never attacked a Vistani camp, you twat.
What speak to guards, what will you say to me? Ah, we'll be fine, don't worry.
I'm going back to bed. Good luck dealing with this shit.
Fair
She
enough.
just straight
back
up
to our
storms away
wall.
from you and climbs back into the caravan.
Okay then. Can
I
we
will-
approach the wolves?
I'm gonna sit down again. Sit down so I don't follow her and take Alvision again.
Okay.
So basically, blind and deaf.
From your owl's view, you can still see the wolves prowling. They don't seem to be coming out the forest. Yen, from where you are, you can still see movement in the bushes. Can you roll me a perception?
All of
George?
us?
No, just Yen. Can you roll me perception?
24.
The wolves are prowling back and forth. You can actually make them out now. There is a wolf that is fucking massive, prowling about 20 feet off into the forest, behind bushes, behind trees, and every now and then the light catches his eyes in a glint. But he doesn't seem to be coming any closer to the camp.
Yen repeats this to the others.
Can you know and pipe up?
Sure.
He goes, well, you're saying there's a wolf the size of a bear, and I've seen bears the size of wolves, so I don't think it's nothing to get no fuss about. And he sits back down to where he was originally sleeping, and stays up for a little bit before he's going to make a decision whether or not he's going to sleep or not.
So eventually, you guys get a few people come over to you. This is Ormin and someone you haven't seen before. And Ormin, rather hungover, stumbling repeatedly, still only wearing his underwear, with a sword in each hand, marches over with a bruise on the side of his forehead, which you presume he'd knocked on something. He comes over and he goes, "Oh, what the fuck was that? Was this you?"
Who's he talking to?
He points the sword at the group in general, swaying it left and right.
It wasn't me, I was trying to sleep.
He looks at from group member to group member over to Ismark, who just raises his hands like, "Wasn't me."
Should I play you a nice song instead?
What do you mean play me a nice fucking song? I've just been woken in the middle of the night to a loud slam, and you want to play me a ditty?
Yes, actually.
I'm just gonna go take Alan out quickly.
Might
so
calm
we
you
both
down
know.
a little bit.
I think
Can
you're
I-
being awfully inconsiderate to our guests. We shouldn't have
I-
woken them up like that.
Wait,
Can I
are...
sneak
You're
behind
our
Calista?
guests! No, you shouldn't have woken us up like that!
You asshole, I wasn't talking to him!
No, you were talking to Callista, but he's there, he can hear you.
Yeah, I just said he shouldn't have we're guests, we shouldn't have woken them up like that.
Oh, it...
Can
It came through, or you said, I'm not sure which, we shouldn't have woken our guests up like that.
yeah.
That's not what I meant. Sorry, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
I meant to
can-
say
can I-
we're guests. You shouldn't have woken them up like that.
Can Hogan sneak up behind Calista to whisper something in her ear?
Sure, but it would be very noticeable. You're big.
It's okay.
Okay, so you walk up behind her.
I'm gonna say,
Yes. Can you play a song that will just get everyone to go back to sleep?
Yeah. Any excuse to use my talent, to be honest. I start playing a very calm, like low tempo, low tempo tune. One that's kind of deep and dark.
Okay, so people start waking up. They see you playing this song as they come out to their caravans. You see a few kids peering out of one. They're rather worried. And eventually people do kind of gather up and you keep getting sideways glances. It looks like people are very, very curious as to what happened. And you're Nobody's talking to you, so you're becoming somewhat ostracized, just standing there playing a song, sitting in your slightly separate group, but yet in the middle of the camp.
I think you're waking up more people, not putting them back to sleep.
Well, what a shame. I don't really care. I'm enjoying playing this.
I will keep up owl vision.
Okay,
So do we
by
eventually
next
calm
session,
down
what
and
I'll
go
do
back to
is I will set up a button that toggles vision from your character to your owl and back and forth.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Do we calm down and go back to sleep, or what happens?
I will let you know in just a moment.
I was imagining Corin sitting there, eyes wide open, slightly like mirrors, staring into nothing.
I'll have it tint the tokens too, so we can see when you're doing it.
Okay.
So your like eyes go white when you.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Are you
Okay, yeah.
removing the
Eventually, you guys make yourselves as comfortable as you can while there are a few whispers going around. But the music is actually quite nice, despite how awkward it was that it came about. And eventually, you fall back to sleep. Kalista, do you want to carry on playing for longer, or do you want to get as much rest as everybody else?
Beatbox.
As everything starts to calm, after things start to really calm down, then I'll get some more sleep because yeah, I'm getting pretty fucking tired to be honest.
Okay, make me a luck roll.
Back.
Did you catch that? Make me a luck roll, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. There it is.
Okay. And a Constitution save. Actually, no, just be a general check. Yeah, Constitution check.
What? 22
Yeah, you
points?
get your full rest, absolutely no problem. Basically, the moment you loll your head back down, you were putting yourself to sleep with your music.
Oh, good.
The lag is returning.
Oh, Leighton.
Yeah.
Weird question.
Sure.
If I look into the owl's vision when I fall asleep, do you get really weird dreams?
No, the owl falls asleep and falls from whatever it's on.
Oh. What? Okay. Wait,
If you're
owls
looking
can
through
sleep
its
up.
eyes,
Owls can sleep sitting up.
Yeah, I guess they're asleep.
Oh, well then, yeah, the owl sleeps when it's sitting up.
Okay.
I forgot they were nocturnal. Okay. The next morning comes about. You're approached by Ormin, the man who you spoke to the night before.
How does the bruise look?
The bruise has gone down a bit.
No maximum health to return?
Yes, your maximum health is returned. If you have a health reduction due to the vampires, your maximum health is back.
Yeah, boy!
However, whatever it was reduced by is not healed overnight.
Okay.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
So your maximum health goes up to where it usually is, but your current health is where your maximum health was.
Okay. I'll fix that.
What the fuck have I done to the sheet? Oh my god.
Same
Okay.
thing you've done with your life. Ho-ho!
Fucked it up. So in the morning, you guys can see that the mold and dark rot that has grown around Hogan's bites and Ikor's bites, and anyone else that was bitten, for that matter, though I'm not sure which of you it was.
Did Mott get bitten?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I know he got scratched, but I don't believe
Okay.
he got bitten. No, he didn't. And so that dark rot is gone. However, they still have the injuries from the bite. They are still scratched. They are still hurt.
Stabbed.
I see.
You still double where you got stabbled.
Morning comes about, and as I said, Ormin approaches the party. And he's got his weapons at his hips, like always. This time he's properly dressed, and his eyes have small bags under them. He approaches and says, "Right, now, look, guys, I see you're getting ready to leave. Just don't talk to too many people. That show last night did not go down well."
I apologise for the commotion my companions caused. It was very uncalled for.
It was. But I appreciate the apology, though you'd best not pass it on to too many people. Some people have children. It was more trouble for them than for me.
All right, let's get going.
With the hangover he's going for, it sounds like it wouldn't be.
Can when Hogan walks past him, can he do one of those? You know, when you like very quickly like shove yourself forward to scare the person.
Why?
What? What?
Just because.
Do you want to make me a? This is just general body size that normally does this. So I'm gonna say a strength intimidation check.
How do I do that?
So you make a roll that adds your strength modifier and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so that would be. Wait, I have proficiency in intimidation.
That's
So that's
why
plus-
you add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so it's a D20 plus 5.
If Hogan sees this, or Nakaran sees this, could I make Mott slap him over the face with the wing when she flies by?
I presume
Like-
you mean Hoot.
Oh, Hoot, yeah, slapping Hogan.
Yeah,
if
you
I
said
s-
Mott.
Oh,
Yeah, you said more.
oh. Yeah, Mott can slap him with his wing.
So yeah, you you step forwards, and this guy, like, he's just beginning to turn away, but he sees you approaching somewhat towards him, and he like stops and looks at you with like a concerned face. Like, as he begins to say, "What's going?" You take a step towards him, and his hands both go to his weapons as he drops backwards, catches himself, keeps giving you like a really annoyed, angry, and concerned look as you right yourself and just continue walking past, maintaining eye contact. And as you're walking away, you just like finally get to the point where you're far enough away to look away from him. And as you turn, this wing smacks you in the face, and you cover your head with your arms. And over you, this owl flies and lands on Corin's
back.
shoulder.
Corin, give that thing a jack.
Why are you being so rude to our host?
I'm just gonna stand there, arms crossed, and shake my hand at Hogan.
What? We were just trying to protect them from the wolves, and then they're so ungrateful. But fine,
Well,
I get.
they
I get
already
it.
had a watch, and they're from around here, so they know what's normal. They didn't seem
Oh.
fast.
All right, I get it.
Butthead.
I think that's the most
Inspiration.
I think that's the harshest word Jennerin has said to anyone ever.
Yeah, Yennerin, you get inspiration. That was so good.
Lovely.
Backhead.
I think she Jennerin said less harsh words against Ashkan than he did.
Yeah, literally. Okay. You guys eventually get to the road. And Ismark and Irina turn to you. Well then, are we ready to carry on?
Yes.
Let's
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
bothering those people and get a move on.
That is probably for the
didn't
best,
mean
yes.
to burp.
Yes, you did. Morning burps.
Okay then, says Irina. We had best start moving. You guys start your travels, and can you all please roll me perception?
Can diddly do.
Where's my mouse?
Hmm.
Okay, so you guys are walking down this path, and eventually you see a line of blood.
Can I
Oh,
inspect
shit.
the line of blood?
It's Hogan and Corin who are somewhat near the front, so they hold out arms and try to get people to slow down, and it leads somewhat into the forest. You guys have been traveling for at least an hour now, and you're going uphill.
Is it any full footprints close to the blood?
Roll me an investigation. You have advantage because there's so many people with you.
15?
There's a smear of blood, and there's lots of broken twigs. As you continue along, you can see more wet patches, and you know you get better tracks there.
And it's wolves? Okay, yeah, then continue.
So you head a little bit through the underbrush, only by about 5 or 10 feet, to where the ground is a lot damper. And in the forest, there's a complete change of atmosphere. The moment you're in it, it's like any sound you make doesn't echo at all. It's consistent, eerie silence.
Nani?
Please make me another investigation. You still have advantage. And you can still see the road behind you, just
Not
to
one, too.
clarify. Okay, you realize after a few seconds of looking that you are standing in a paw print.
Ah.
From side to side, it's about the length of your forearm to fingertip, elbow to fingertip.
What a very big footprint.
Well, it's probably from that big wolves yesterday.
Can I try to identify
The blood?
what could it no the paw print.
Oh,
I'm sorry, everything's loading.
If you want to roll me nature,
could I ask if...
with
what's
how
his
many
name?
people here, you would still again have advantage.
Could I ask Ekor and Mott, basically, if they recognize the smell of the blood?
I will see, says Ekor, and he kneels down and starts petting Mott as he leans forwards. They get a bit of sniffing, and oh shit, so many nat 20s, guys.
Come on, Ekor!
And as Ekor looks up at you, and Mid turns around to face you, they both say in unison, "Wolf."
Wait, the blood is wolf?
Big wolf.
Oh, the blood.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I already guessed it was wolf. I asked if Ekor and Mott could detect what type of creature the blood was from.
Mid says wolf. Ekor says this was a person. The blood looks relatively old. Not old as in a week. Old as in
Hours.
about 30-ish, 36-ish hours. It's been more than a full day.
Could... I don't wanna...
So it didn't kill someone this night. So that's already a bit reassuring, I guess.
Well, if we get
As
into
much
the...
as it is a poor soul, whoever it was that was taken, we have a job to do. We need to keep moving.
Indeed.
He's right.
Let's get back to the road.
Yeah.
That was Irina, by the way.
Oh, I thought it
Oh,
was
gee.
Ekor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was the other guy.
Yeah, I don't want to
Meme
encounter
teen?
some
Meme
weird
teen.
shit again.
Out memes, I will die.
Irina is right. We
Okay,
should
Michael.
get moving, guys.
So you guys head back to the road and continue traveling.
I'm on the way,
I'll pop out the map for you so that you know where you are.
misery man.
Um,
Come on, boy.
Irina is still leading the party, and you guys continue up the hill until you reach the top of it, which takes in total about 2 hours.
That's a big hill.
It
That's
is.
not-
They are extremely steep.
That's not a hill, Leighton. That's a fucking mountain.
Hey, the castle's like 10,000 feet up.
Dude, I can get up Snowdon in 2 hours. I've seen guys run up it in half an hour.
We're
Fuck
walking.
me, son. That big.
I'm guessing we're taking a left, because I not want to take a right.
You would be, yes, but there's a rather good view about here.
Of your mum's ass. Oh.
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 It's that big, you know, boy. We call her Continentia buttocks.
Hey girl, are you the metric system? Cause you're international.
Fucking kill me.
I'll do. I already tried that. It didn't go so good. Well.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, true. Apparently Doom's 50% off.
Oh,
that's
I read that as teaser falls. I was like, oh, teasers.
One moment, if you be so kind.
I'll
if I don't want
give you
to?
So you
two.
follow the river to the base of a canyon, and next to you, underneath the canyon that you're about to walk over the bridge on, there is a great waterfall that spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist downstream.
Wait,
A
how
great
far away
stone
is it?
bridge spans this canyon, nearly 1,000 feet above the base of the waterfall.
How far is the waterfall?
The waterfall is under the token.
Oh, okay.
See?
Oh, I thought that that was the waterfall.
This is the main waterfall. That
Okay.
is a smaller waterfall.
Ah.
So this is the whole, like what we're crossing is the whole canyon, right?
The biggest drop of it, yeah.
Wait, we went on top
Okay,
of the
okay.
bridge? I thought we were going left.
You
Okay.
thought wrong.
Left
there-
would be back the way we came, I'm afraid.
Ah.
You follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of the mountain and ends before an arcing bridge of... Oh no, that's the other road. Sorry. So yeah, you can see the waterfall just next to you. You guys continuing onwards.
I guess.
We better
Oh,
not
can I
avoid a-
can I take the owl and? No, I wouldn't think of it. Never mind. Yeah, continue forward.
Can
Yeah,
I
sure.
shove the owl up my arse?
No, I was gonna look for if there
Yes.
was a passage behind the waterfall, but who the fuck would build one of those?
Okay, just mapping stuff out for you.
Alrighty then.
Fun fact: in ancient Greek, this is a verb for literally putting Malashuk your arsehole.
Yes.
Did you say putting a marshmallow up your
They were
arsehole?
kinky bastards.
This ancient Greek literally has a verb for putting Malashuk up your arsehole.
Radish.
What is
Radish.
this verb?
Specifically that.
Radish.
Relish.
Radish.
What are you saying?
Mud and shit.
Radish.
Okay. Like potato but radish, like the fruit, vegetable, whatever.
I'm a little bit curious. What is this proverb? Otherwise, I'm just going to denounce it as pure bullshit.
What I've
So
been
there's
told.
a gate up ahead of you. Much
it-
like the one you entered the city through. Much like the one you entered the city through.
Oh, like it's as big?
Yep, the same size.
Shit.
Fog spilling out of the surrounding forest.
Okay, may I ask Irina or Kolyan, um, if every how do you say, every land in this place is separated by gates? Is this is this how it works?
No, it is only here and at the entrance to the village of Barovia.
Oh, okay. And do you know why they are here? Like, why would you need such a big gate, such big gates?
This place was once at war, many, many years ago. Beyond that, my memory.
Oh,
Though perhaps not beyond Strahd's.
yeah.
As you get closer,
Oh, sorry.
Corin,
Yes.
you notice that sitting on the road just here
It's a little baby bitch.
is a black carriage.
I will.
Even here, the forest and the fog that is rather thin at the moment is unescapable. Where the dirt road splits into, widening towards the east, you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare. Parked at that fork of the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air, and the side door of the carriage swings open,
I will cast
silently
protect
beckoning
from good.
towards the party.
I'll cast protect good and evil on the girl.
Undead, I presume.
Yeah. And I'm thinking we're taking a left, right, guys?
Yeah, yes.
The entire party sees this. There is a black carriage, door swinging open, beckoning towards the party, with nobody inside of it and two horses sitting at the front, ready to pull the cart, facing
Starts walking
towards
towards
Strahd's
it.
castle.
I'm not
Wait,
going into
wait,
that.
wait.
Ben, what was that?
Yonoran goes towards it.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I pull him back.
Can we stop
I pull-
Yennerin?
You feel multiple people grab your shoulders as they try to stop you.
What are you trying to do, Yennerin?
Or I thought that considering it's a horse with carriage and it's just opened, it looks rather inviting, and I think we should go investigate it.
Would
Yen
mid
just walks straight up to it without anyone notice him.
wait?
It's just so small.
Would mid be aware that this road goes like in the direction of the castle? Is it obvious?
Yeah, you can see the castle at the very top of the road.
Do you want to meet? Do you want to say hello to Strahd? Yennerin, like you just
And
go like that?
Yen, can you roll me a stealth?
I think you should have that because nobody actually noticed.
I heard him.
You
Yeah,
didn't do
I
anything
heard him
about it.
too.
Yeah, but just because people heard him,
I was waiting
like
for
you
people
can't.
to finish.
When someone says "I want to sneak," you can't say "I grab him" because you don't necessarily see him. So I
Need
asked
to
for
wait
the
for the
rolls.
roll.
I
So-
wasn't trying to be sneaky though. I was literally because everyone was just.
You said the
Well-
phrase without anyone noticing.
I noticed.
Well,
With
Yeah,
12
yeah.
stealth, a lot of people would have noticed.
Yen doesn't care. Yen just carries on walking. She's walking with her hands in her pocket.
Hogan tries to grapple her.
So as you're
Acrobatics to
walking
get out
forwards,
of it.
you hear a few louder steps behind you, and as you turn, you feel a big hand grab over your shoulder.
Acrobatics to try and dodge out the way of it.
Okay, that would be a contest. Athletics versus acrobatics, guys.
Can I play music to liven it up a bit? Make it more sense?
Why is everyone taking such extreme measures? Do you not just turn around and say, "Hey, man, don't do that"? You're going straight for a
Well,
grapple.
We
You
ha-
go nuts.
haven't had the chance to talk.
No one's
yet.
tried to grapple you, Ben. They just wanted to put a hand on you. However, Yen specifically said, "I'm going to ignore him." So I think
don't
when
know,
he
don't.
said grapple, he was just trying to say grab. But
Go on, Rama.
oh,
do your
that's
roll.
a bit. Oh wow. Oh yeah, there we go. That's violin. There you
Fuck
go, Michael. Being dramatic with your violin, looking angrily at the
No,
party.
you roll first, George.
Yay!
No, you roll
think-
first.
I think
Oh,
Benny
you roll
Hill would
first.
be
No,
more
you roll first.
appropriate.
Oh.
If you hit the same number, then things stay as they were, and he was not grappled, so he manages to get free.
Oh.
Don't get near the cart. It's obviously one of STRAHD's ploys.
Yen just stands in front of the open door, like probably like 5 feet away, with her hands in her pockets.
Okay, inside the cart, it is empty. There's rather nicely padded chairs. It looks like it's big enough for about 8 people, maybe 10.
Minute. Is there a stick on the floor?
There would be, yeah.
Can I pick up a stick quickly?
Okay. You pick up a
I
stick?
I use light on it, on the stick,
Okay.
and I throw it inside the wagon.
The wagon
What?
shows no form of reaction, and can you make me a wisdom save?
What the fuck is going on? Are they all just trying to really, really stop him from getting in?
No, he's just standing there fucking with the cart.
What are you doing?
And you throw in the stick, and there's a moment of silence, and then you nearly shit yourself as one of the horses whinnies.
Nah.
So, did my character proceed to carry on to the carriage or not, or was I stopped?
You never specified.
Well, we were in the middle of an interaction and you just kind of carried on with a different interaction.
You got annoyed when I didn't carry on with the other interaction when George said he wanted to sneak. You said I should benefit the players for not interrupting.
No, I said that he should get away with sneaking because nobody said anything at the moment in time. But also at the same time, you've like...
I thought
You
you
know,
were
like-
hinting that I should.
No,
Take care
if
of
I want
that?
something, I will tell you straight up. I don't hint, that's stupid.
Right.
That's why I'm asking.
Well, did you wanna continue going for the car, or did you wanna just stop when they grabbed you? Because they suggested that you shouldn't go towards the car.
Yeah, so proceed to go towards the cart.
What you guys?
Guys, he's literally just brushing off your grasp.
Yeah, and like seeing that Yen didn't just jump into the cart, I'm letting him
I'm-
just go. But I'm still ready, and because it's Yenorin, you know, he could just jump into that cart, so I'm prepared.
Yeah, if General is
Does
on
Hogan
his way
see this?
inside
Well,
to the
two
cart-
people talking. Binary what?
Yeah, like Mid said, if General is on his way into the cart, I'm gonna try to grapple him. But if he's
Well,
just going to
He's
it,
walking towards it.
yeah, then I follow close by and ready to grab him if he tries
Okay,
to go into the
okay.
cart.
And Hogan.
Does Hogan see that Yennerin is on his way to the cart?
Yeah, you can see him walking over, but Yen's standing 5 feet from it, like.
Yeah. Okay, Hogan says, "Are you two idiots? Don't you see that this is one of STRAHD's ploys? Why would you try and... Why?"
Well,
Yen just kind of leans back,
considering...
look. Okay, Ben, you go, Ben.
Okay. Considering STRAHD already knows where we are, and the fact he's already come to see us, I'm pretty sure if he wanted us dead, he would have done so by now. And if he really wanted us dead, there's truly nothing we could do about it.
Why
So
give
you-
him more reasons or
Yen
chances?
Yen just
What do you mean
leans back.
chances? He could just come to us right now and kill us all.
So you just want to say hello to him and go into that cart, go into his castle, and you know, drink some tea with him?
Yen
I
just
don't know
leans
if this
back.
cart's his, and you haven't allowed me the opportunity to investigate it myself.
You heard what he said. We are his little playthings.
Oh,
He
well, you
wants to
guys
play
are
with us.
jumping
Why
to
would you let
conclusions.
him play with us?
You guys are jumping to conclusions. I just wanted to see what was going on. At this point, can you know and try and approach one of the horses?
Yeah, you guys see him do this.
Hogan tries to grapple him to stop him.
Yeah, I don't really care if it's the horses.
Ben, I presume you reflexively try and avoid being grappled.
Yeah.
Hogan, can you roll me athletics? Ben, can you roll me acrobatics?
Hurry.
Can I use my inspiration?
Ah.
Yeah, you can. So, right, a moment of silence. As you approach the horse, its jet black fur glistening in the day sun, it shakes its head, flinging its mane back and forth, and you are so taken in the moment, smiling to yourself as you mutter under your breath, "Horsey," that it doesn't even occur to you that Hogan is running full speed and Rugby tackles you in the side.
Hogan, I must protest. If you have decided to take a course of action unnecessarily towards me, I will not refrain from defending myself. Your behaviour is completely uncalled for and unjustified.
I'm trying to defend you. Are
You're
you
trying
dumb?
to defend me from a horse. I'd like to point out, despite my reluctant engagement in fights and my very steadfast pacifism, I am not incapable of looking after myself. I've got this far. I'm not a child. I'm a monk.
While lying on the ground,
I'm
lecturing.
Sorry, 1 sec, Rama. Binary, can you repeat that?
Yeah, while General lying on the ground, grappled.
He's not prone. He's not prone.
Oh, okay, I thought it was a proper rugby talk. Okay, arguing with Hogan while he's being grappled. Can I go to the brother and sister and ask them if they want to continue to the town?
What? You want to leave without them? I mean,
Yen's already
okay, they do
left.
look like bumbling. What?
I was literally trying to say some shit throughout that whole thing. Literally, and I couldn't get a word in.
We couldn't hear you at all, mate. You didn't actually say anything.
I was actually shouting.
It did not come through at all.
yeah,
Pretty
it
sure you
didn't come
muted
through
yourself if you were
further.
shouting.
No, I was shouting. I was looking at my thing, and I was
Yeah,
just
just
going,
because you're shouting
leans
doesn't mean
back.
it came through.
got close to my Yen leans back, and then they put Yen is screaming re, and then just
I saw that in the chat, but like it was after you not talking.
Yeah, and I'm tabbed out, so I can't see what you write.
oh, someone's fire alarm's gone off.
That would be mine. Don't know what my sister or mum did, but they've apparently burned me to death. So I won't be seeing you guys again.
Stay on D&D till the end.
Well, Hogan's preoccupied. Everybody else is looking away. Corin's quite near the gate with Ismark and Irina. So
And
you
Yen.
approach them.
And Yen is with them as well because Yen.
Yeah, it's them that you approach.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Ekor is somewhat dancing around the fight that's going on between Hogan and Yenaren, or the grapple that's going on between the two of them, while Callista plays her violin, and Mid is just tentatively trying to help where he can, but he doesn't want to make it as serious as Hogan is.
Yeah, I'm just like...
Is Ekor yipping?
Is he what?
Yipping? No,
Yipping.
Ekor is not yipping.
He's not a dog.
Isn't he?
No, he's a null. It's a
Well, don't.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, but he wouldn't just bark to something.
Sure, he would.
Hogan, Yenaren.
Yenaren has proceeded to carry on telling him off and asking him to not act in the way he's chosen to act because it seems unreasonable.
Hogan.
And I will attempt to break out.
I've been muted. Okay. Hogan says, "I'll say this one last time, and this is for your own sake. Don't touch or get into the cart."
Do you then let go of
I'd
him?
like to point out that I'm not
Yeah.
trying to touch or
I
get
let
into
go
the
of him.
cart. I was trying to greet the horse. I know you're a half-orc, but do you really have to act like a full-blooded one? At this
Oh,
point, it's visible that Yonorin is getting quite pissed off.
despite the fact he tries to keep to his monthly vows.
Oh, Ben, that was a good roast.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah, he
proper
lets go of
roast.
you though. When he was done talking, he let go of you, even if it was somewhat abruptly.
That's fine.
So your arms are freed. What do you do?
He extends one hand out with an open palm, fingers pointing down, like he's trying to feed the horse, and he offers it up to the horse, like for it to sniff. But he's cautious because he's aware that this is quite an unusual incident because he's not a child.
I'm sorry. Have any one of you read Greek mythology?
Yeah.
Although he
There's
acts
there's
like a child
there's
sometimes.
flesh-eating horses in that.
Yes, I know, and everyone like it's in Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Oh, you've read those? Nice. Sorry.
She said, "You read those? Nice. Sorry."
Sorry for Leighton. I continue talking random stuff.
So obviously
Um,
Yenneren's
So yep,
cautious.
you hold up the hand to the horse. Can you roll me an animal handling?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you roll me an animal handling check?
Ooh la
Barrel
la!
handling.
I've never rolled this before.
Ooh.
Opa!
But Gundam style.
So the horse licks at your hand and then like nuzzles it.
Can he now switch his hand from being open palm to stroking the top of its head?
And the horse is quite
Responsive.
responsive is a very good word for it.
Can he use his other hand to touch the other horse then, like in the same manner, like brush it, like do a little trusty thing, and then if the
Yep.
trusty thing
Do animal
succeeds,
handling.
brush
You
the
have
other.
advantage on this one.
Hey, pating. Got all
Yes,
those
you
animals.
now have a
hands.
horse in each hand.
He just keeps petting them, and he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful, aren't you? Look at you and your golden black mane, such beauty, elegance, you
Hogan
ebony
is standing
beauties, you
there.
obsidian wonders, you."
Watching
Yeah, now
this.
having seen this, Hogan, you do feel a little bit silly for being so harsh with him.
Yeah, I do.
He turns around and looks at Hogan and goes, "See, they're only horses, you nincompoop."
Well, they're still Strahd's horses, and I don't
Well,
trust that guy.
we don't know if they're Strahd's horses. This is a random cart. Maybe somebody got robbed.
Maybe you didn't hear what he said. He said everything in these lands is his.
Yes, but he can't control people's free will to some extent, and he might find it entertaining and sadistic to have robbers rob the rich. You know, and just kind of nods like he's really smart and shit, and starts carrying on like petting the horses.
All right, then let's go and join the others.
Oh no, I'm gonna do what I originally intended to do. He walks around the other side of the carriage and pokes his head through the door.
There's the stick a lot. There's the stick a
Hogan
lot,
face palms.
The carriage is empty. There are black leather coated seats in there. It is extremely nice, very, very exuberant with its wealth. I believe that's the right word.
Works.
Can I roll perception to look for anything out of place, like a note or a message or anything?
I think there's
Or
Sure.
or another perception check to see if there's any signs of struggle or blood or scratches.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one will be for any.
It would just be
notes.
one perception check.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Pachow!
Is the stick still glowing?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, it would be.
It glows. It lights up for.
It looks pretty plain on the inside. It's not particularly massive, so it would be quite easy to see if there were blood. You're pretty sure there isn't.
Yeah.
And as for notes or anything left behind, there is a single black rose in a vase that is built into the side of the carriage. But apart from that, there's nothing.
Yonorin is Yen within visibility of Yonorin?
No, she's gone through the gate and has started talking with Corin.
Well, Yonorin goes in to investigate.
You know it now.
Slam!
Oopsie!
You don't really get a chance to grab at him, but the door doesn't slam shut behind him or anything. And once he's completely inside, bear in mind you can't stand upright, but it's also a little bit taller than kneeling height. Well, quite a bit taller than kneeling height actually. It's just slightly too small for you to stand up straight in. There seems to be
Hogan-
very little inside for you to properly look at. It's wealthy, sure, but that seems to be about the length of it. There are a few bouquets of all black flowers lined across a back shelf behind the seats at the back of the cart.
Yeah. Does it look
Um,
like a romantic gesture?
Romantic? Not particularly. Exorbitant for guests of royalty? Yeah, that would fit it more.
Yonoran decides to stick his head out and call the others and say that he's pretty sure the. Oh, hang on, I just start going. Guys, I'm pretty sure this carriage is safe and would probably save us a couple of days of journeying if we commandeered it.
Would Irina hear this? And Colin?
Irina and Kolyan are standing. Sorry, no, not Kolyan. Sorry, Ismark. Kolyan was the
It's not-
father.
Yeah.
Irina and Ismark are standing through the gates ever so slightly, which are the gates are open, by the way, just to clarify. Not wide, but open. They're standing there looking from party to party, while Koran and Yen are a bit further down the road.
Well, I would keep with the two people.
Oh well, Yen, I presume you'd go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Yen's quite a distance ahead. Koran, Ismark, and Irina are together.
So they're getting away. I didn't get that.
No, they're standing there waiting for the group.
Yeah.
They heard, but they don't respond.
Yeah, and I would have walked up to Irina, because we are escorting her. That's the point.
Okay.
And
Is anyone responding?
and and I turn to
Sorry.
Yanorin and I say, Yanorin, what about helping Irina? Would you just would wait? What did he say again?
He said we could commandeer the cart, take it wherever we wanted to.
It'd be quicker than walk.
I'm not particularly fond of anything that we encountered so far with objects and stuff in this land. I would prefer to just go by
A
foot.
lot more bluntly, you get a shout from Irina. I'm not getting in STRAHD's fucking cart!
Oh, yeah.
Yonoran just kind of sticks his head down and is like, oh, okay. And he walks around to the front of the car and tries to see if there's anywhere to sit, and so he could instruct the horses with reins.
There is a seat, but there are no reins.
Okay. He decides to go up to one of the horses, and considering he thinks that he's on good terms with them, he tries to unshackle the horse from the carriage itself.
The shackles seem to be welded in place.
Oh, he kind of strokes the horse and goes, "Oh, you poor thing, you poor beautiful thing. Do you not want to be on the carriage?" And he looks at it in order to gauge some sort of response despite not speaking horse.
Animal handling.
Ba-ba-ba-ba, I'm handling.
And an insight.
And insight to the animal.
That horse has particularly dead eyes.
Nah. Guess this much.
Yonoran kind of stares at the horse, and his brain's kind of ticking. You can see a small amount of steam coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say I can smell it. I can smell something burning.
And he's sitting there, kind of playing with his tooth a bit with one hand because he's got fangs and tusks and shit. He's half orc, and he suddenly goes, "Oh,
Oh God, oh Jesus, that's unpleasant. Starts jogging towards the rest of the party. Guys, they're not alive. They're not alive. This is very, very, very uncomfortable. I don't like this at all. Why would he do that to us? We were his playthings. Why would he take that far? That's
So
unpleasant.
you
I don't like
catch
this.
up with Corin. You're still looking back over your shoulder, and as you turn, you pass him, and you don't even realize. You continue running, and Yen, you just hear like. And just as it catches up with you, he stops and starts gasping. And as you look over your shoulder, Yennarin's there, sweat dripping from his forehead.
And he looks at them and goes, "They're dead."
Well,
Yen just
I
goes,
sorry.
cool.
I turn
and just
to
continues to walk.
brother and sister and I say, "Well, it seems like we're moving again."
Good. It should not take
Yes.
us too much longer.
Ho-
Provided
Hogan,
there are no more distractions.
Hogan joins the other, and he's like, I hope he learned his lesson there.
Could we have a pee break?
Yeah,
Yes, I
pee
was
break.
just gonna ask that.
Good call.
Yep.
Thank you.
I would actually get tea.
Do I have another pizza or not?
Pee break. 10 minutes. Come back at 25 past.
Oh God, that's ages away. Okay, probably just gonna sit here the whole time.
Sorry, 10-minute break is fair enough. The group continues onwards. Um, you come to a corner up ahead, as you can see.
What does it look like?
A
I
bend in
think
the road with
he-
trees either side,
Going to this
rather
right.
dense. And as you get to the corner, Corin near the front holds people back. Ahead, in the road, feasting on something, is a very large wolf.
Oh, is
From where
that
you are,
what we
Corin,
saw the
you
other
can hear
day?
growls.
So there's more wolves. Wonderful.
Probably stick the baby right up its arsehole. All the way in there. I
How
wouldn't wanna
far
do that,
away?
though.
About 60 feet.
Ooh, who seems like they're best at avoiding getting hit?
Avoiding getting hit.
Yeah, except me.
I could make loud sounds if you want.
That is not
Um,
avoiding getting hit.
Would
Or-
you, I mean, what
That's
would
a
you
very
need?
vague question.
What,
Ha-
would you
most
need
armored.
protected? Oh.
And who could take
The
most hits?
used to fighting, the one that could take the most hits, definitely looks like it's Hogan.
Alright.
He's got more scars on his body than a pincushion.
Ayo.
Well then, we'll drag him to the right of me, and we will wait or I will try to communicate to the party that we should wait and see what would happen, and everyone be ready to blast whatever they can at the big thing.
Is everybody happy to wait?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What? So we've seen a big old doggo in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
and you've advised the party to step to the sides and hide.
No, we're standing in the middle of the road, ready to blast the fucker if it tries to attack. And I also
It
mentioned
hasn't seen you.
I'm gonna animal handling this fucker.
Can I roll a
I'm sorry.
perception to see if the dog can see us?
I mean, it's pretty clear it hasn't.
Is it
You know, when kind of
is it a
puts a
wolf or
finger
is it
to
a
its
big
mouth.
dog?
It
It's
is a
wolf.
very big wolf.
Ah, then it's a big wolf. Okay.
Yonorin kind of taps your character on the shoulder, puts a finger to his lips like he's doing the shush, and then kind of using a whole hand but open palm,
he kind of directs his fingers to the tree line in kind of like a military, like move over there kind of way. But it looks a bit dumb because he's not military, so he kind of goes.
All right.
And makes whooshing noises. While he wiggles
Could
his
I
hand
insight?
towards the brush.
Do I need to check that to see what if I understand that, or is my int high enough to get what he's trying to get at?
Your int's high enough to know what he means,
Okay.
but it looks
Silly.
hilarious.
And then after Unoin does this, in a kind of crouched and hunched over position, holding his quarterstaff, he kind of. Wait, can you hear that?
No.
No, I do it with my hands. He kind of.
Oh. Tippy tappy
and
tippy
kind of runs into the tree line.
What?
He runs into the tree line after hinting to Binary to Corin that they should hide in the bushes, but he looked rather silly doing it.
Yeah. Half smile. Follow him. So basically. Yeah. Try to sneakily follow Yennerin and point the rest of the party.
Wait, what are we actually doing?
We're hiding for
Sneaking
a big
around
fucking
some
wolf.
wolves. Please try and keep up.
Oh, well, once Yen literally just walks in to, like, with the group, and once everyone's there, uses silent image.
Well, I just turned to, again.
What do you?
Oh, okay.
use-
So Yen, you're placing silent image across the road.
Well, no, I thought we were going into the tree line.
Yennerin, did you want to? Oh my god.
So what?
Yennerin, did you want to cross the road into the trees, or did you want to get into the trees where you are now?
Literally, if we just.
When you were directing people.
I thought we were standing in the middle of the road.
Okay, so to
That's
clarify,
what I
there's...
asked. I said, "Can the wolf see us?" And
Yeah,
where
yeah,
are
yeah.
we?
You're in the road around the corner slightly.
Mm.
So there's trees to the northeast.
So the wolf's
There's
there.
trees to the. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll reveal the road where the wolves are. That's probably a bit of confusion source there.
That's fine. Should be in line of sight. So I was hoping to pop into
So
the
they're
trees
about here.
there. So go to my
So wait,
immediate
sorry,
left.
sorry. Did you wanna go that side,
No.
or did you wanna go that side?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
So I'm not going to cut in front of them and let them see.
Okay, so you gesture for everybody to get into the trees, and I presume everybody goes along with it.
Yeah.
I was wondering what.
And again, silent image only lasts for a minute, I think it is.
Yeah. 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Did you want to cast it?
Well, are we waiting for the wolves to walk past down that way?
They're eating
They're not
something on the
walking,
road.
they're eating something that's dead.
Oh, then why don't we just continue through the tree line and just work our way around them?
Wait, who's
there
in
was.
the silent image? Are we all in it?
No,
No, I haven't used silent image.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did because you opened it up on the thing.
No, just
No,
see
you-
how long it would last.
So there's one big wolf. Corin will explain. There's one big wolf on the middle of the road, and he can hear more wolves around. More growls. Sorry.
So there could be wolves
Yeah.
all the way around here,
Mm-hmm.
all the way around here.
So-
So why the fuck would we go into the woods?
Because Yennerin
Because we're
decided
less
to do
likely
it.
to be seen by the big wolf.
So the big
I
wolf's
mean,
about
I'm not
here.
going to explain my tactics to you. If your character has any inquiries, ask you know.
Ooh. I'll allow it, because in-character conversation is good.
Well, while we're in the bushes, Yen just goes, so, what are we actually just gonna wait for them to pass on, or are we working our way around them?
Well, I think I don't really want to go see the big wolf. So I figured if we go around the big wolf, then we don't have to go to the big wolf.
There's more wolves in the forest, so if they start making a ruckus,
The big wolf will come a running.
Well, this is a good idea because we can use the trees as cover if we can see the wolves before they see us. And if the big wolf tries to get to us, he's got to get through all these trees. On the other chance is we go straight to the big wolf and we're out in the open, and that's not very tactically viable.
Okay,
Well,
so you guys are just the other side of a little a little rocky outcropping. It's ever so small. It's only about 6 feet high maximum. At alongside the road, it's the best cover that you can see, and you've been moving through bushes to get to that point. And because it's the best cover from the wolves, it's where you've chosen. I'm just gonna put you onto a map so that you can see with a bit of a better example
Yeah.
where it is that you are. If you see yourself on top of a tree, you're under the tree.
Okay.
That's pretty
Um,
hot.
Just placing you. Oh god. Your owl is on your shoulder. If you want to use the owl, say so. Binary.
Yeah. How thick are the trees?
Oh my god, what is it with tokens? The trees are rather thinly dispersed, but there's a lot of bushes.
Okay.
So there's pretty much cover everywhere. Just not as much as you'd like there to be.
Yeah.
Just sorting something out. I want to get a nice overlay going on. So give me a sec.
You're a nice overlay.
You're a nice friend. Little bit stronger.
Do I wanna know? No, I don't.
Just gonna change that one to that. There we go. That's nice. Okay, got a good overlay going on. And I'd
shit,
like
that's
to
changed.
get these in. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys in. Oh, wow, what did I just do? How
No
did I
idea.
do that? Oh, it's because he's on the map layer, I think? Yeah, it is. Okay, one of the characters was just on the wrong layer.
Oh.
Okay, moving you over.
Activate.
Oh, nice.
Oh, god, I'm so
nice.
zoomed in.
Where am I?
Could I have?
Oh, yeah, fuck. I counted everybody out. I must have unintentionally put you behind the map or something. I don't know, I'll check it in a bit.
Yay.
This makes my idea even better because I was
And
thinking if we just
he's
keep
already on
moving
there.
through the trees north this way.
I did want to just play a scene out first because you guys would all notice this as you were talking.
Yeah.
You hear a bit of a growl and then a really high-pitched yelp. And as you catch side glances, it looks like one of the wolves got a bit too close to whatever the larger wolf is eating, and the smaller wolf is bitten and thrown flying through the air, tumbling down to land in the ditch near you.
Could I have Hoot fly up so I can have like an
Scope the surrounding.
yeah? So I want to try to see if there's more small wolves around.
That's a big doggo, and
Okay.
that kind of just looks like a bear with skinny arms. Not gonna
It-
lie.
My long tail.
It physically kind of does, yeah. It
Wolf
does look that fucking big, but it looks very fast.
Use too much hair growth tonic. Whatever it's called.
So bear in mind, Corin, this would occur to you. Yenarim wants to move now.
Yeah. I would. Okay. Yeah. True. Okay. Yeah. Move. I will pull out my rope from my pack though and have it ready.
Okay. Ekor offers to lead. No objections?
No.
No objection.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Ekor offers to lead
Lead where?
the party along the road, along the route that you suggested.
Yeah, that's fine. He calls the tracker wolf dude, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
He hasn't actually leveled up his character.
I will stay behind him and be
I think
lookout.
it's worth mentioning. I've leveled up my character, but I didn't do the feat or the 2 skill bonuses up
That is.
Okay.
because I
I'm
haven't
sorry,
made a
Ben,
decision
but
yet on it. So I
that's-
just thought I'd leave it for a bit.
Not to do now. We'll do it after the session. Okay.
That's fine. I'll do it at some point. in the week.
Um,
I know what to do. I just haven't done it.
Yep. I'm just looking at this. Da, 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 da. Okay. While he's moving, he starts tracking. So I need everybody to make me a stealth check.
Yeah.
And he will also roll survival. I'll do him last so that I know everybody else has been. So everybody, stealth check.
Oh, I can't see this.
Oh, but
Oh
are we
no!
not on underneath a little cliff?
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
I haven't
By the way, you all have advantage.
Oh fuck! Both off of that.
Like that,
Oh.
I was just. I thought that you all knew. Because,
Okay.
like, I sorry. Let me reword that. I felt like I didn't need to say because it comes out twice for all of you.
Ah.
But I should mention it. And then finally. Ooh! Wow!
Could I have at least a hoot if circling above me, so if she sees the wolves react.
And
she
I'm
can-
gonna have him use his inspiration. There we go.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, nice.
Oh,
What was that noise?
Echo uses inspiration. I thought it was the wolf that used his inspiration.
So you guys managed to get past with very little issue. And
Is this the road-
eventually, when you get to the other end of the road, you see that the wolves run off into the tree line that you were just at. Fortunately, you're upwind from them. And Ekor manages to point out that with the tracks, that's about as big as their pack gets. There's not that many of them. And considering how brutally the larger of the wolves treated the smaller, you're not that surprised.
That's savagery.
That was some Lord of the Rings shit right there.
Did we get past them? Did we do a success?
Yes, you did. You did.
If anyone got what I meant.
Oh, left a little bit out there. So you continue up the road, and in the distance from here, you can see a windmill.
Oh.
Oh god, I'm using the wrong tool.
Oh,
No.
what time of day is it?
It's about midday.
Okay.
You guys
it
probably
a-
left a bit early. You did cause a bit of a scene the night before.
Is it a windmill that we recognize?
Can you roll me history?
Yeah, from the-
Absolutely.
This would be Hogan, Yen, Yenarin, everybody that was in Death House.
History.
11.
History.
History.
Wait, sorry, what just happened though?
You saw a windmill, or you can see a windmill ahead of the party.
History. It's time
I'm
for
actually gonna
you
clear a bit
to
off
get
just to
good
save some
rolls
time.
for me. I roll and I get a 19. Oh shit, I can record everything.
That's actually a very good roll.
Mm-hmm,
So you bring up. Wait a second. I'm not going to try and imitate your character's voice. I'm not as
I
good
can
at it as
say
you
it.
are. Yeah.
Oh, hold up, guys. Wait a moment. I've just recorded something rather important.
I'm just going to trace this around there. Figure I could clear up an area the better.
I
You
love
recall
you,
that you have a letter with a deed to a windmill.
No, wait, does he own the windmill?
Is it on my person specifically?
No. I can't recall who had it on them. It was the letter that was found in the. I think it was the letter that was found in there.
What
I don't
was
think
the-
anybody wrote down that they picked it up.
Oh, I think Yen did. Was
I
it the
think
one that we
Yen
found
did.
in the hidden storage area?
Yeah, it is.
Yen picked it up because
Mhm.
Yonoran didn't pick it up because I forgot to say I pick it up, so Yen ended up picking it up. Can Yonoran kind of start bouncing up and down like tuck jumps, and he's like double finger pointing at Yen, and he goes, "Oh, oh, oh, oh! I just, we've got a deed. We found a deed."
Yen
What's the
just
deed?
looks at him like, what?
That physically
Yen
did it.
clearly looks like she doesn't remember what you're talking about.
Right, so you know when you were stealing from the deceased family, and we found that
Mhm.
secret room, and we found lots of nice things in them. I took a little bit of jerky, just the bare
Oh,
essentials.
yeah.
You and me, we found a deed to a windmill.
Mhm.
Huh?
And is that the?
Well, I don't know if that's our windmill, but that is a windmill, and we have a deed, and you don't normally find a lot
So-
of windmills in
Yen just.
godforsaken places like
And
this.
as you say, a little bit of jerky, you pull out a bit of jerky and it has rotted. And as you like flop it, it breaks apart furry.
Oh, he checks the rest of the jerky in his bag.
It's all furry.
Why is jerky furry? That's meant to be long preserving.
It is.
What about the loaf of bread and the fruit?
That is all gone too. It has rats on it. It has maggots growing through it. It's like it's
Wait.
alive, but only with things you don't want to eat.
So
Norman
is that
looks at it and
giving
goes,
food some-
"Oh, I'm very glad that I kept this in a separate compartment." And tips one of his individual bags upside down and starts shaking it all out.
I didn't pick up any food, did I?
Yeah,
You picked up
a shitload
some
of
bread.
food.
Well, I kind of see like, when it's doing that, so I just start pouring out my food as well.
And it
Gosh.
is in the same condition.
He
Yeah, I
looks
just-
at you, Yen, and he goes, "Wait, jerky's a long preservative. That's why I got it. What if? Check the deed. It must be in your pockets or something still."
Was proceeding to do that when she saw that your food went weird.
So yeah, I'll say you have it on you, even if it's not in your inventory, because I believe it was you that took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got shitty that I couldn't take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I took- Ugh.
You pull it out, and it's really weathered.
Mm.
The ink is old and almost dried, and the paper itself is kind of crumbly. It looks more like an old treasure map than it did like a scroll when you first got it. But it is still in a readable condition, and it does still have the seal of wax on it. It's good enough. Guys, I'll be back in like 10 seconds. I just need to go grab something.
I'm counting.
Do you think it's
One.
Do you think it's a
two.
good idea that I look through Hoot's eyes and someone lead me so I can scout the building?
If your character makes a suggestion like that, I'm sure you.
I'm back.
That was 12 seconds.
Hopefully.
Damn it, I'm such an unreliable DM.
Well, does
Okay,
anyone
right.
think that it's a
Yen-
good idea if I scout the building you're
Yen's
talking
looking-
about before we go to it? If you want to even go closer to it?
Maybe your character should make that suggestion.
I did that now.
Oh, sorry. Can't hear the difference between your roleplay character and your voice.
I know the voices are quite similar.
Okay, Yonoran goes, "Well, I'm very good at leading the blind, as my master used to say about me, so I'm more than happy to assist you if you decide to do your bestiality thing."
And
Oh god.
if
Also,
what?
George wanted to say something.
I
Oh,
was
sorry,
gonna,
George.
I was gonna say, Yen, while holding this, like, this deed, starts visibly shaking, and then just quickly turns to Yenna and goes, "We've got a windmill."
I'm aware of that, but you seem awfully excited about this.
Yeah, because Yen's never actually owned anything proper.
Oh, guys,
Yonoran
could-
kneels down. Oh, sorry.
let's
And,
make
like,
this windmill play lots of music constantly. I thought it's a thing.
Yen literally gives I can't remember your name.
You know?
Callista a death glare.
Um,
Don't you do anything to my fucking windmill.
can
You
I?
know, and
Do
kneel
you
down
guys-
to Yen and put a hand on her shoulder, and he just says, "I know we are both rather excited about owning a windmill, but," and then he kind of covers one side of his face with his hand, and comes in real close, and he goes, "But we did acquire these deeds through the indecent and sinful act of theft."
Well, actually, well, Yen covers her, half of her face with her hand. Goes,
Layton.
well, technically, they are dead, so it is, and we don't know how long they've been dead for. So if I'm guessing about 10 years, then it goes to whoever holds the deed to this said windmill. Therefore, it is us. Therefore, we own the windmill.
Layton, do I hear this?
I think that it's rather immoral.
Do you want to roll me perception?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like they've been dead for many, many, many years. They don't. How's anyone gonna know?
So
How's
would
anyone
we,
gonna know?
we would be
Yeah, you
doing
can hear
them
this.
Um,
favour
according
be
to the
doing them a
law,
favour.
how does the deed
by
work?
reinstating their property back to its original wealth.
It's a very
Yeah.
vague situation with the law because if it works in the noble's favor, they'll agree to it. If it doesn't work in the noble's favor, they'll disagree with it.
Okay, I'll still neutral. I will. I would ask Jen. Okay, if something is, you want me to come back, just tap me 3 times on my back, and I will snap out of it, and I will
Alright.
turn. Oh, by the way, when I said Jen, I meant Jenrin, but yeah.
Can Hogan just ask Irina or what's his name?
Dickface.
Her brother if the windmill is
It's actually in the journal if you want to check. Under player characters, NPCs.
right. Let's see.
Dead.
Ismark. Can he ask Irina and Ismark if the windmill is safe?
I have not been there. It is rare that we leave Borovia. The village, I mean, not the land.
Alright, but there is a chance it is as haunted as their house, as the Durst house. Because that is the Durst windmill, isn't it?
It is?
Wait, that's not theirs anymore. We own it. You know, and stands proudly and upright.
I start flying. The owl starts flying to the windmill, and I order it before it comes out of reach. Over the commands. If you see something interesting, look for a second and then come back.
Do you really want to go into something that's owned by the Dursts again?
Well, no, because it's owned by me, Yen, and Yen.
Okay, Binary, can you roll me a perception on behalf of your owl?
Yes.
Yen stands there with her hands at her hips and
I
goes,
need to find
"Yeah,
out. There it
it's
is.
the Cartiff and whatever Yanorin's last name is windmill."
I like to think
nice.
it's the barren-footed windmill.
Shoot.
But
Baron Cartiff
considering-
footed.
considering barren-footed seems like an indecent and improper name, we can go with your last name, Yen, which is
Cartiff. It's the Cartiff windmill.
it's the Cartiff windmill.
It's my windmill.
Perception.
Yen is
Our
actually
windmill.
very happy.
Yeah, but
17.
You didn't build the windmill. You don't know what's in there.
Yen doesn't care if you
17.
own something.
By the time the owl is back, you know that there's definitely movement within the windmill. That's all.
Mice. That's it. Mice.
Do you know what else is in the windmill?
Mice.
Yeah.
Yanorin's property.
I did look. I looked through the eyes. Wouldn't it be my?
It was a bit too far away for you to look through the eyes.
Oh, I can. Can't I look? I can look through the eyes. I can just not command it. Did we not agree on this? Like the.
Oh
first-
yeah, we did. Sorry, I'm getting them around the wrong way.
Yeah. That's why I say after it sees something interesting, it will.
You can
Um,
see movement from the windows. You could land on the windowsill if you could command it, but you told it to look in. And as it flies around, Michael, can you please stop muttering?
Sorry.
As you fly around it, you can't see what it is that's inside.
Okay.
It looks like figures just doing work, but the windmill itself isn't turning.
Okay. I will commune this to my party.
Well, that settles it. We don't go there.
Right. I mean, why would we?
Yeah, I'm not, no, we are not going into that. He just told he just told it. Figures like.
Well,
he-
we have to go past it either way.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, but we will not engage with it. Not go close. Let's just go past it.
Yeah. And if they are kids, fuck them.
Fuck
I
you.
believe we
I
did
would-
something quite noble by helping those children.
We're leaving the windmill.
Yes.
What? What?
Yes.
What?
So you get to the crossway.
Wait, are we leaving the windmill?
Yeah.
and
we
that's
are.
what they did just agree on, and you didn't argue.
But I wanna
Yen,
Go to the
Yen
windmill.
Stands there.
No, you don't.
If
You
that
went,
was a
no,
party.
this is when you arrive at the crossroads. So
Yen
um,
is stamping her feet.
I
saying,
feel like
"I
it's
want
quite
to go
obvious
to
I
our
want to go to the
windmill."
windmill.
it is quite obvious. I did like leave a big pause for you to respond, but you
Mate, I
didn't.
don't
So I
hear-
thought that you were listening.
No, because I get lag and I don't hear everything you're saying.
Okay, I just thought you were listening. You still have opportunity to argue. You're at the crossroads now.
You know, and goes, well, I would like to check out my property and see what renovation efforts have to be made to put it back in working order again.
You
And he starts
say
walking.
Fuck, are
as
you
you
gonna
turn
do
to
when-
look. You turn to look after saying this at the windmill, and you see a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a rather fog-filled valley, quite downhill. And in the heart of that valley, you see a walled. Is this the
What?
What? Later?
what the fuck? It's talking about a valley with a great mountain lake, but it is under the windmill area.
Confused.
He just cut off for a second. And I'm like, is he lagging?
Hmm.
Is my internet cut off?
I'm so fucking confused. What? Why did pass through the park?
How you know it's Friday? Everyone except you is drunk.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
it seems like the majority of this description is just fucking terrible. However, there is a branch in the road before you that leads west to a promontory, a hill, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare.
What does dilapidated mean?
Old and worn out.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm
But-
a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie.
But Yenorin is the security of Irina.
Got a
no,
picture for you boys.
and I tell Yenorin, I ask Yenorin if seeing his property is more important than the security of Irina.
Yes.
Mate,
You are
I'm
not
still
genuine.
waiting to get a grip of what's going on with this whole description and windmill going on.
I did describe it.
Yeah, but I just said I still don't understand.
To your left, at the top of a hill, is a windmill, which looks very old and run down.
Is that the windmill here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our windmill.
We're going north.
Yes.
You are traveling north, yes. There's a picture in the chat of the windmill.
All right.
close are we
in
to the windmill
response
now?
to the inquiries that have been presented to Yenorin, he replies and says, "Well, I don't think a minor detour would hurt. as it's not that far away, and maybe we could find something useful for our travels.
Last time we went to something that was previously owned by the Dust, we got several people killed. Why
Well,
would we go there again?
I highly doubt that the Dursts would have a cult in their windmill. It's just not economically viable.
Leighton, how far are we from the windmill? Is this to scale?
The food isn't very good with mixing with the occult.
So was there a cult in the haunted house?
It's quite
Why?
far.
Why take the chances? It seems very stupid to me to go walking into that windmill. It would be like walking into the Dust houses all over again.
I highly doubt it would be a similar situation, and I think we would be fools to pass up an opportunity to explore for the chance to find anything useful.
As they argue, could I order who to perch on the windowsill, and I'll look through its eyes.
Okay.
The top.
Don't laugh.
I will laugh.
You land on the windowsill, and as you're flying over, you see a crow that keeps flying past you.
Okay.
And as it does so, it goes "Ah, ah, ah, ah," right up in your Hoot's face. And Hoot's trying to weave to the side, lands on the windowsill, and the crow lands really close, barely inches from Hoot. Keeps looking at Hoot and going, "Ah, ah, 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 ah."
Can I cast? Is it? It seems like it wants to show who something, or is it just annoying?
It's getting closer and closer and closer. Do you want to roll insight?
Yeah. Let's see. Insight. 8.
It seems particularly aggressive. You're not used to birds.
Shocking grasp through Hoot. Do you want me to roll the spell attack?
Yeah, with advantage.
Alright. 23. Poof.
So the bird keeps getting closer to Hoot, going, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." It's gone. And feathers rain down from the side of the windmill.
Question.
Hmm.
Is it gone completely in a puff of feather, or is there a corpse?
It's gone completely.
Ah.
Pop
You
goes
literally
the-
like there's blood splattered up the side of the windmill, with an eye dangling from it.
Oh, okay. So it's
And
not.
there's one leg left attached where it was just standing, intestines dangling down from there, and the other leg dangling below.
So it's not fine familiar poof gone. It's poof gone like someone put a C4 inside of its mouth.
Yes.
Okay. I will look through the
I
window.
should probably refer to that as a boom gone.
Yeah.
Basically,
Can I look through the window now?
You can. Roll me perception.
Sure. Do I have advantage because I'm looking through Hoot's eyes?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, absolutely.
19.
Okay, so you see that dancing around a thick wooden gear shaft in the center of like a cramped circular room, there are two ugly women, and they're both wearing silk shawls and gowns of stitched looks like leather,
Okay.
but it's like really thin and worn.
Can
They've
I-
got long needles sticking out of their black hair, and as they're dancing around, they're like cackling, like they've got really ugly laughs. They're like,
What the
Can
fuck
I
did
start-
you just describe?
Can I?
the scene that he sees
Um.
Long red needles
sticking out of their hair.
out of their hair or their heads,
Um.
and they're just dancing and cackling.
And
That's pretty sexy.
Wait, give me a second. Is that itself? Now here's a weird question. Detect magic.
Yeah.
If I look through Hoot's eyes, would that be through Hoot's eyes, or would it just be around me as me?
Is the spell touch or is it self?
Self.
Then it would just be you as you.
Okay.
Well, here's the best way to work it out. If you have dark vision and your familiar does not, and you look through your familiar's eyes,
Okay,
do you
okay.
still keep dark vision?
Yeah,
No.
true. No.
No.
Because that'd be a physical attribute, not a magical attribute.
Yes.
Well, depends.
Also, I'm assuming.
Well, if you had the devil's night, never mind. I will commune to the people around me that there's 2 cackling crones in the second. Is it the second story of the building or the third?
That would be the with the ground floor being the first floor,
Okay,
it
yeah.
would be the third.
Yeah, I will commune that there is 2 cackling crones dancing around the middle bit in their windmill.
Yen immediately.
I
pulls
just
out
wonder, did everyone
her
else
shorts.
see a flash of light and then a poof of blood on the side of the windmill?
No, it's too far away.
Okay.
Yen has slowly started to walk to this windmill with both short swords drawn, and is
It's like a
visibly
big hill. It's
shaking.
like a 15-minute walk up there.
She doesn't care. She's walking up that hill with her short swords out. She is
Can Hogan
pissed.
try and stop her? Wait, what's a crone?
A crone is generally referred to as an old woman, but these women were young.
Oh, were they young?
Have-
Okay, I thought it was.
They were young. They were just really ugly.
Oh,
Were they naked?
no.
Disappointed.
Okay, I thought that was all because you said
How
ugly.
do you
Okay.
spell crones?
Just want to finish the description of the floor.
N-E-S.
In a relatively bad condition, rotting wooden closet, you could see through it, and there were like multiple crates stacked on top of each other, and they had small doors set into the front of them.
Okay.
And close to them, there's discarded piles of clothing,
Yeah.
and there's a ladder in the room that climbs up to the top floor, but the top floor has no windows.
Okay, how do you get down to the first floor and second?
Down to the first floor, there's a spiral staircase that goes around the outside of the room.
Okay. Oh wait, sorry. From the to the second floor, from the third. I guess I wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to see it.
downwards.
Okay. Yep. Is the window cracked up? Would the Hood be able to get inside?
No, the window is actually fully in place.
Okay.
So wait, did he share his vision?
Yeah, I shared. I'm sorry, I said the crone. I meant to say Jung. Or
Okay, so
women.
These ladies sound awfully frightful, but I think it would be worth me and Yen's time as their landlord to go check up on what the rent agreement is.
Oh my god, no.
Okay.
Yen is already gone.
Are
She's-
you
she's-
fucking retarded?
Hogan actually said he wanted to stop you, so Yen, as
Damn
you're
it.
walking up the hill, you've only like taken the first like 20 steps away from the group. And Hogan, you can hear coming up behind you, and he goes, "Wage!"
Yen starts sprinting.
Oh my
Hogan
Well,
tries
good
to
luck,
grapple
enough.
her.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Actually, no. When she's dashing, she can outrun Hogan pretty easy. But how far she can keep it up for is another question. So I'd like you both to make me a Constitution check.
Shit.
Inspiration.
No, check, not save.
Oh, what's it? Check.
Oh,
You just
okay.
click the word Constitution.
Oh,
Could I slowly follow them?
13.
Oh, fuck's sake, really?
Wait, why did you reroll?
I'm not making a single step towards the.
Wait, why did you reroll, Rama?
They both did.
I did the save.
Oh, okay.
We did a save, not a check.
Oh, I thought you kept the. Never mind. No, it's something that Leighton said before. It's...
Yeah, I'll clarify that now. From now on, if you click the wrong button, we keep the we keep the first roll. We just change what the modifier is. Okay, I'm clarifying that now. After this point.
Okay.
So, you guys are running, and Hogan, as you're running, the wound where the vampire bit you starts throbbing and hurting, and it's clearly healing up, but with all the exertion, it started bleeding again.
Wow.
So you force yourself to stop. Yen, on the other hand, you've got enough stamina to get quite a ways up the hill. It's only another 5-minute walk before you slow down.
Yen just stops to see that Hogan's like stopped and says, "You're already up. You're already all the way up this hill now. You might as well go to the top."
I'm not going into that house.
Sorry, Ben?
Yanoran's just casually strolling up the hill after them.
Following him.
Ekor is refusing to go up, and Mid, you're standing outside too?
Yeah. I'm not stepping in. I'm not going into that shit.
Irina and how do everybody keep forgetting his name, myself included?
Ikor.
Ismark.
I love how Binary just starts giving us the wrong name.
I wanted to see how long I could do it before Rama said.
Can Hogan keep talking?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I hadn't finished. Irina and Ismark both stay outside and say, "We'll come and get you if anything happens." To Corin as he's walking away.
I nod at him.
Hogan says, "Now I want you to remember what happened in the Dust House. And then remember that if you go in there, you will be going in alone."
No, we don't. If we have to not separate. No, wait. What's the proper term? I don't
Split.
have. Yeah, we don't have. We should not split. Like, guys, really, this is. I really feel this is a bad idea, and if you really want to go there, I don't want to lose any more person, please, guys.
Maybe. Fuck. You're right, but there's no point in going in that windmill. For doing so, you're just being stupid. Maybe she deserves to die for being this retarded.
Oh, I don't think anyone really truly deserves to die. We are all capable of seeking redemption in some form or another. It would be rather negligent of you to dismiss people that quickly and inconsiderately.
Jesus Christ. You're not wrong, you're just an asshole.
I don't think using that level of unnecessary language with me is good. I do not like the tone have you decided to take with me. It is rather belittling and insulting. I do not like it. I would ask you to refrain from referring to me by such a title.
So, Mid, you wanted to go in?
I do apologize.
I am now a proud owner of a windmill, so you should treat me as such.
What are you gonna do with it? It is pointless.
Windmills are very good for crushing grains to make bread.
It's probably haunted.
Well, let's go find out.
It's probably a potential giant jukebox.
Oh my god, this is giving me autism. Like, literally, this is giving me autism.
So, how many people are going in?
So, since you're going up there, because you don't want to split the party, Mid.
Yes.
If Mid is going in, Hogan will go after Mid, but not after Yen.
Ekor says that he is willing to keep watch halfway up the path, and Ismark and Irina agree to wait outside of the windmill.
Yeah, I will send in Hoot, but I will wait outside and I will jump into Hoot's head.
No, if there's so much people outside, we should really find a way to make to just not go there. Like, you know, and
Good luck saying that to Jen and Jen.
Who's Jen and Jen?
You and you.
Yen and Yenrin.
Jen and Jenrin. Jen and Jen.
No,
Jen
no
and
J.
Jen.
No J, just yeah. We have this argument every time. No J, just yeah.
We have.
I have with binary, not like I have this conversation with him like once a month. I swear to God, he just stops going yeah and starts going j.
Yeah, this is good.
Yen and
It's
Yen.
not even like he's saying ya. He says jar.
Yen and
Is it
Okay.
Yen.
so annoying? Is it just because of a language difference?
I can never actually tell. That's the thing.
No, it's we actually say yeah more than ja in Swedish, so it's a bit weird.
So even in your own country, you're an idiot.
What?
Damn.
No, we say J more than yeah.
We say ja.
Yeah.
Jag.
Yeah.
Jävlar.
Yeah, that's
So-
yeah.
I
We
like
don't-
how you said. He goes, when do we say j? And you go yag, yavla.
Oh, exactly. That's yeah. What the fuck are you on about?
What?
You say even
Arga
into
trying to
dog.
maintain a whisper while you laugh.
Shut up.
Binary, do you say jog,
Or Yog.
Javla.
javlar? Jag knullade din mamma. You don't say that. You say jag.
Okay, as you guys get close to the windmill, it lets you see a bit more of the surrounding environment. Not much, mind you, but a bit.
so yeah,
Um,
eventually, Mid would have, you know, just by thinking about what happened when he just let Kriv and Carver and Hogan went in, go into the basement. He just like
What is that?
I don't know. First, like he doesn't want to do it, but he just follows because he doesn't want to go this. He doesn't want them to go without him anymore. So he just goes there.
Layton?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will actually use a spell slot to cast Mage Armor on Hoot.
Can you?
Okay. Um.
It-
Let me just work out how this would work.
Nani?
Nani.
if what? Yeah, creature.
So. Yeah, the +1 is from Dex as well, so it would actually be 14
Yep.
armor class.
Oh my.
Okay.
Well,
Your owl has 14 AC.
Shinderu.
So you approach the windmill. The first person there is Yen. You
Mhm.
arrive at the
Oren?
door, the windmill looming over you. The onion-domed edifice leans forward and to one side, as though trying to turn away from the stormy grey sky. And you see grey brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. And there's a decrepit wooden platform that encircles the windmill, above a flimsy doorway that leads to the building's interior.
Yen is happy.
Perched on the wooden beam above the doorway is a foot, and dangling from that foot is another foot. Splattered up the wall is blood, and these feet used to belong to a raven.
That's just rather queer.
Yen just waits.
So,
will-
because of everybody's paces and how eager they were to get there, Yenarin and Yen have basically arrived first. Yenarin, over the course of the journey, was really eager with his walking and just slowly overtook Hogan, who is a little bit behind.
He
Uh,
powered through
would
like a
Hoot-
champion.
Would Hoot be with them?
Yeah, who would be with them?
Am I the only one here remembering what happened at the Durst house?
Wait,
I'm not going inside.
Leighton,
I
did
can't
you
remember
get
Sark.
that?
I didn't
I'm
know.
with them.
You're with them, so like you bear in mind that people, even if they're going up to the windmill, arrived at different times.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
rush to try and catch up to them?
No, but I eventually try.
You're on your way.
Yeah.
Okay, and Callista?
She enters the windmill as well. She wants to join.
Okay, so you're with the yeah, you would be with them because you would have just Okay, yeah, you're with them. You're with the three. So the three that have arrived at the windmill first, with Hogan trailing just behind, and then everybody else beyond that, are Yen, Yenarin, and Callista. You stand at the door of the windmill.
It hasn't cut. Oh, no, never mind.
Did you want to open it, guys? Did you want to do anything?
Yes.
Yonoran knocks.
You knock 3 loud, resounding times.
And he goes, "Hello, is anybody home?
You know
Or
that.
anybody? Windmill."
You know
And then he
that's
just like
two
finger
people,
guns
but-
at Yen, like he's really funny.
Then it's just like, oh, I get it
Just
now.
I'm just reading to see if anybody is home.
I feel really upset nobody found my "is anybody windmill" joke funny.
No, Yen just stands there staring at Yenna and just goes, wait. Oh, I get it now.
It just kind of tuts and high fives.
Okay.
Still thinking about it.
Can you roll me a general strength check just to see how hard you knocked? How hard did you knock the door? Was it intentionally hard or was it just average?
Just fucking knock, you weirdo. It's not Rogar.
I'm
Or
just
Snorri.
wondering, was it intentionally hard or was it just a mediocre hit?
It's just knocking the door like. "Hello, is anybody a windmill?"
Fuck's sake.
Stop it. I'm gonna start use that instead of home every time I knock. Is everyone home? Is anyone windmill?
Is anyone windmill?
Okay. There is absolutely no response, although there is quite a lot of noise coming from inside.
He tries to push the door to see if it opens.
It doesn't, but it looks like it's being held shut by the doorknob, perhaps.
Huh?
Yeah.
I
Turns
twist.
the doorknob.
You push the doorknob and it's not opening. Then Yen leans forwards and turns the door handle and it opens.
I was gonna do that in a moment. He sticks his head through the door and looks around. And he goes, "Hello?"
There's a grinding sound coming from deeper within, and as you shout hello,
He pulls his head back out and he looks at the other and goes, "I think they're making grain."
further in the distance you can still hear more grinding. The ground floor before you has been converted into a makeshift kitchen-ish, but the room is absolutely fucking filthy. Baskets and dishware are piled up everywhere all over the room, and on top of that, there's a peddler's cart up against one of the walls, and a chicken coop up against another one. There's a heavy wooden trunk against another bit of the wall, and there's actually a rather nice looking wooden cabinet, apart from the dust, with flowers painted on its doors.
He looks at the
In
others
addition
and
to
goes,
the clucking chickens, you can actually hear toads croaking somewhere in the room, but you can't see them.
Oh,
he looks at the others and goes, "They've made
There's
poor upkeep of this establishment."
There's a sweet smell of pastries being cooked, which is blending horridly with this disgusting stench of chicken shit. And there's an upright barrel in the center of the room, from which there is a really disgusting odor pouring out into the rest of the room from it. If you could see smells, this room would just be filled with black.
Yeah.
Yummy.
And warmth is coming out from a brick oven against one of the walls, which is where the sweet smell is coming from, and they are combining to get really mouth-wateringly disgusting smells.
I don't think I want to stay here much longer. Take a smile.
There are shrieks and cackles from somewhere higher up that are causing the old windmill to shudder. The ceiling here is about 8 feet high. And, yeah, what do you do?
Yen walks into her and Yennarin's windmill
And the ground crunches underfoot.
and looks at Yennarin and goes, "Look, Yennarin, look at all the stuff we now own that is now covered in shit."
Well, I'm not entirely sure the contents within the facility are our belongings, but I would like to inquire as to who's staying here. And he
Could
turns around and he looks at the rest of the party and he goes, preferably with minimal violence.
I look
You-
around as look in the room, see if I can see
Honest-
something else?
Honestly, I'm thoroughly disappointed. Why would you want to stay in a building like this? It's
Okay,
vile.
Corin. As you fly in with your little owl, you look around the room, and something that really stands out to you each time someone takes a step is the crunching sound. And looking at their feet, there are relatively small bones littering the floor.
I will take a perch. Well, let's say the cabinet, or the cab. I can't remember. The one with flowers on it.
The cabinet with flowers on it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a perch up there.
You actually find a frog up there.
Eat it.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Your owl is rather satisfied with eating the frog.
That burp was on point.
It was intentional.
Sorry, someone said they wanted to go upstairs, did they?
Yonoran will go upstairs.
Yen will follow suit behind him.
And
And Michael, did you want to stay in? You kept saying you wanted to leave.
Okay, so you kind of debates with the group saying, to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm going to stay here much longer. I could. I
You're always
could.
looking for a good story. Why be boring now?
Yeah, good point. It's inspiring, though. Well, not yet inspiring. Okay, well, I could. The other option, I guess, stand guard, make a big clap if anything bad happens. Anything goes up towards this windmill, but I guess I'll stick with you guys for now and see what happens.
Hoot will follow after, flap after them. I think upstairs.
Mid is just following kind of mindlessly, but just aware, aware of his surroundings, like preparing for like anything to dash to on them, like even like the chairs or whatever. Just the brooms, especially like.
Wait, is mid in the house or in the windmill?
Well, I said that I was joining. I will
Oh,
be
okay, yeah, then Hogan is there as well.
Okay, so you guys are just making your way into the windmill now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting outside.
Corin's sitting just outside. Hogan's just making his way in too. Who's in front?
Can I ask DM a question?
Sure.
Do the flower patterns on the cabinet match the flower patterns on the cabinet in the house?
In the Durst family house?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
And also, who's in front out of Mid and Hogan?
Well, I guess he went first, so I guess I'm behind him.
No, Mid went
No.
first, but Hogan would be keeping very close to Mid and Yennarin because those are the ones that he's trying to protect.
Okay. So yeah, I'm behind Yinorin or Callista. I don't know. And
Okay, and Callista,
So-
you're staying in the building?
Yeah. I kind of like stay like sort of around second behind of the group.
Okay,
we are
Yenaren,
still
you
on
get to the
first
next
floor,
floor.
right?
Mhm.
You guys are still on the first floor, yeah.
Yeah,
Yenaren's just arrived at the second. So, Yenaren, you climb up the spiral stairs, and there's no door or anything. You just come out on the next floor. And there's, before you, a rather haggard, heavy-set old woman. And her face is as wrinkled as a boiled apple. She's sweeping the floor and pushing around a few old bones, stirring up a cloud of white dust with her broom. She's wearing a blood-stained and flour-caked apron with a long, sharp bodkin
What's a bod-
impaling. It's a hairpin
Okay.
impaling her bundled up mound of grey hair. The dirt-caked windows around this place are allowing in very little light. Again, the
I got-
ceiling's 8 feet high, and most of it's taken up by a large millstone in the center, which is connected to a gear shaft that goes up through the center.
Yeah.
And the stone staircase continues up towards the next floor where the cackling comes from intermittently.
Okay.
And as she's sweeping, the old lady hasn't noticed you before you've noticed her.
and raises one hand in the air in a waving motion and goes, "Salutations."
No! Oh! Oh, hello!
Sorry to surprise you.
You notice that she as she turns around, she wasn't bent over because she was sweeping. She stands bent over.
Oh dear. He doesn't say that. Okay, that's me.
Do you want to see a picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Send me some of
Are,
that
are
wank
you
bank
sure you're ready?
Oh my
wank
God.
bank
Yes.
material, boys.
Okay.
It's horse
Thank you,
sitting.
Richman,
Fap
for
challenge
following.
2K18.
Hope you're
Let's do
enjoying the
this.
stream.
Oh
Oh
god.
dear.
Oh mate, I could
Okay.
be off for that.
You got that from Imager.
No, I didn't.
Slag.
That's in the book.
The link to it goes to Imager.
That's because I uploaded it to Imager with a screenshot.
Oh, damn.
You got it from me.
She looks like she's like, "Hey, bring that dick over here, boy."
Boy, stick it in my ass.
So tell me, what did you here for? And what made you think you could let yourself in?
Well, we've just commandeered the rights for this place.
I don't give a fuck about any rights. But if you want to buy one of my pies, you can buy a pie.
He looks at Yen for a moment for reassurance, and then he looks back at the old lady and goes, "We work for STRAHD."
And then immediately Yen just puts her to sleep.
Yen puts her to sleep. Sorry.
Yeah.
With the sleep spell.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll it for me?
I'm gonna cast it for you.
No effect.
What?
No effect. However, at what Yenaren said, you do see her eyes go very wide.
What? What did
Wait,
you say?
Oh yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
said we work for STRAHD.
we work for STRAHD. He says with slight less confidence in his voice.
Yen just stands there with
They're
that
not
massive
gonna give you
pocket.
inspiration. I'm sorry. You fucking like your character winds me up so much. I love him. Like the way you play him, man. It's so good.
I hate him at times, but I'm loving it. Just give me all that inspiration, Daddy.
You don't fucking work for Strahd. Don't lie to me!
She
How you-
charges past you and tries to get downstairs.
Get out of my fucking way!
Kalista raises her hand.
Stop
Can I
her.
trip her?
Raise the
Kalista
finger
raises
objective.
her
Whoa,
hand.
hey, one at a time. One at a time. Michael was first.
Kalista, as this happens, Kalista raises her hand and says, "I do," or at least I plan to.
And
What?
George, you said you wanted to trip her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say
And
something?
Yenaren, you wanted to say something?
As she walks past me, Yenren doesn't stop her, but he holds up a finger and he goes, "Well, I like to consider myself a honest, trustworthy person, and I would not lie about that, considering how horrendous a sentient being he is. But we do work for him."
So, the first person to get anything out edgeways was Callista, who raised her hand. And midway through talking, the old woman with the tip of the broom whacks your fingers and says, "Fuck off!" And as she's got all her weight up in the air, she trips on Yen's foot. I'm not even going to ask you to roll for it, because I know what you people are like with your fucking high acrobatics. She trips on Yen's foot and tumbles down the stairs, and she drops hard onto her chest and goes, "Ugh!" And before you, Hogan, an old lady comes tumbling down the stairs to land at your feet.
Did you
At
just
which point she
murder an old
rolls,
lady?
and with this double bent back and shoulders up behind her, the back of her skull, she like has to rock to get herself back to her feet. And she
Fucking
climbs
Hogan
up
help her
and
out.
goes,
Rapier. Rapier time.
Huh?
I hold up my rapier, aims to her neck.
Oh, I
Wait,
thought
did,
you meant to play your
she's,
bard.
Hogan-
she just gets back to her knees when she sees your rapier at her neck.
Did you
And
hear-
Hogan, what did you say?
did Hogan hear Callista say that she wants to work for STRAHD?
Roll perception, because you would have been in the building, but you would have been just entering.
Yeah.
Would Hoot have heard it?
Who would have absolutely heard it?
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Hogan turns to Callista and says, "You what? You want to work for STRAHD? Why is that?"
Huh? Oh, that's none of your business. We've got to keep this person under control first. She's being a bit, well, speaks for herself, really.
Callista, you're being a bit of a psychopath there. She just
You
tripped
do
down the
realize that we
stairs.
cannot. Oh, wait, sorry to.
As
cut you.
everybody's having a go at Callista, they're both like having a go at her from each side. The the old hag lady tries to fucking. I'm having such difficulty coming up with words to describe old women.
Nutty cat.
The wrinkly old lady
Wrinkly old cunt.
weighs her weight backwards so that she can get some footing without falling forwards into the rapier, and starts standing.
Can you know when tap Yen and you just quietly say to her like, "Why did you do that? She's awfully unreasonable. She's one of our tenants."
She's in my house.
It's not
Wait,
a
wait,
house.
we cannot
people.
gloss over this.
You
Wait a minute. Wait.
Assholes, just get out my fucking. You see her walk round to the other side of the ground floor. She pulls up her broom and she knocks on the barrel 3 times heavily. The barrel that stinks and has this disgusting smell coming out of it. And it's 3 loud that echo throughout the
shit.
room.
Oh no.
Why did you have to hit an old lady?
Hogan, let's take a joke. Come on.
I didn't hit an old
Seriously,
lady.
really?
You, tripping people down the stairs is normally considered like attempted murder in normal day life.
Yeah,
You
it
can
is.
really fuck people up. You just made an attempt on an old lady's life.
1 second.
Hogan's not done with Callista.
So you hear a bit of bubbling, and you see a bit of movement in the surface of the water. Oh. What's best?
Rama, I think this would have happened too fast that you'd have time to just yell at Callista.
Yeah, I know. What do you
think
mean,
that would-
yell?
And
Hogan isn't
as
always-
Hogan's beginning to get angry, as he's beginning to point fingers, and as Callista begins to realize that this old woman stepped out of her reach and moves down the stairs, you see something moving in the water. You see 3 dark purple claws attached to thick green fingers hook over the edge of the barrel. And then again. And then lifting up its face. Mangled, wrinkled, pink, what looks like a wound with 2 eyes in it and a pig's snout attached. And as it exposes itself more, it's got misshapen, sagging teeth that point too far out from the mouth,
Can you
and
not shout
bright pink bat's ears. along
Fuck.
with a rather resounding green skin and a neck that's so thick it's covered in muscle, attached to its head somewhat like a pig's.
Fuck, bro.
As it climbs out, it makes a really horrifying sound of and it lifts its head back, mouth wide.
Oh,
And as it gets its weight right, it forces itself out the barrel, launching itself about a foot into the air as it lands just outside, its body propped up like a frog's, its legs either side of it, and its claws readied in front.
Can you neuron shout?
And that's where we're
Just
going to end the
does-
session.
Wait.
Ah.
I've got the perfect cliffhanger thing. I've got the
Fuck
perfect
my
cliffhanger
nuts,
thing.
you
Go
early
for it. What's the
fuck.
cliffhanger?
Yeah, while seeing this, Yen just looks at Yunor and goes,